the Carpenters Union represents. Plus, earn as you learn. Receive a nice paycheck, health insurance benefits, and best of all, no college debt. Ask your school district to participate in the Career Connections program and get started on your future.
For extraordinary moments in life, you should never have to settle for ordinary healthcare coverage. That's why at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we put the extra in our plans. Extra me time to catch up on your faves, with telehealth visits included. Extra peace of mind, knowing a nurse line is here 24/7 for those unexpected moments. Visit us at bcbsilextra.com to enroll. Because extraordinary coverage should come with extraordinary extras.
Championship trophy being shared with the student body at IC Catholic Prep. 48-17 winners tonight over Williamsville. Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo, who just got done calling this ball game. Got some numbers here for you provided by our great statistician Nick Pinto. How about this, Mark? I'm going to take the rushing numbers. I'll let you take passing numbers. Okay, rushing numbers tonight. 296 yards rushing for IC Catholic. 216 of those came on just 9 runs.
That's just crazy. And then passing, Mandela threw for 200 yards tonight, 4 touchdowns, but 3 passes for 164 yards as he went explosive plays to the tune of 74, 65, and 25 yards. So that's the way you pile up some big-time numbers. You have playmakers, and you spread the ball around like he did tonight. That one going to J.P. Schmidt.
Well, you had Parker, then Schmidt, and I think Parker was the only other one that caught a ball that you may have said, well, we're going to get ourselves a touchdown. Who should we go to? Well, Parker maybe would get a couple of them, but now Dennis Mandela here does it with his legs. So 5 touchdowns tonight for IC Catholic's junior quarterback, Dennis Mandela. So IC Catholic came here and did exactly what they thought they should do.
Yep.
Now we have another team coming up in Class 4A, that's Sacred Heart Griffin. They were here last year. They're going to look to do something they thought they could do last year. They'll look to do it this year in 4A.
Well, they have some fireworks. They have playmakers across the board. The Providence Celtics, maybe not the big star power, but they know how to win football games, especially down the stretch. We should have a couple contrasting styles. Should be fun to watch and call.
We'll get ourselves ready up here in the booth, but let's go to the studio and Mark Kruger.
All right, thank you very much. Great call in that 3A title game, Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo. Hard to believe the Knights at one point in this game were down 10. They rattled off 48 unanswered points, went on to win 48-17. We need to take a timeout, and we will be back with more from Memorial Stadium as we get set for the Class 4A state title game right here on the IHSA Television Network. Memorial Stadium. There you see the final score of the Class 3A state championship game. The IC Catholic Prep Knights knocking off a very, very good Williamsville Bullets ball club by a score of 48-17. As we welcome you back inside Memorial Stadium. Take a look at the schedule. You saw Lena Winslow earlier today in Class 1A knock off Camp Point Central 30-8. And then in 2A, it came down to the last play. St. Teresa went undefeated, knocking off Tri-Valley 29-22. You just saw IC Catholic knock off Williamsville. And then coming up here in just a little bit, a great matchup. The Cyclones of Sacred Heart Griffin, 13-0. They made it to the title game last year, but lost to Joliet Catholic. They're back again this year. This time they've got the number 13th seed Celtics of Providence Catholic. The Celtics coming into this one with a record of 9-4. So there you have the slate of today's contest. We'll take a break, step aside, and come back to Memorial Stadium right here on the IHSA Television Network.
Black Friday is here at Menards, and we've got the perfect present for your loved ones. With something for Dad, Mom, and the kids. Everyone in the family will get what they want, even your furry friends. Enjoy the season and the savings. Deck out the tree and stuff your stockings with these great gifts at amazing prices. Hurry in and save big money. These deals won't last long. Doors open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday.
Save big money at Menards.
How do you predict the future? You create it. You build a foundation, pave a path forward, soak up the journey, and turn experiences into something life-changing. At Illinois State University, we deliver on what every college should promise you: the opportunity and tools to write your legacy every day. The rest is up to you. What will you create? Create your legacy at Illinois State University.
This is the great state where you'll find hearts bigger, beating truer, and always wide open. Country miles with never-ending pride, virtues and values, and colors that run deep. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we were born and raised in the land of Lincoln. And like you, we'll always be here, standing for all. Blue Cross and Blue Shield, nationwide strong, Illinois born.
From the days of the one-room schoolhouse, public schools have always been the heart of our community. It's where our students learn and are inspired to dream big, where we cheer on our teams under Friday night lights, and where parents, teachers, students, and loved ones come together as one. Now, more than ever, our public schools unite us. This message is brought to you by the Illinois Education Association, IEA, because we are stronger, united.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. The Class 3A state championship game just concluded. There you see the final. The Knights knocking off the Williamsville Bullets by a score of 48-17. We've got one more game on slate for you here on this Friday, and that's the 4A state championship game. Providence Catholic against Sacred Heart Griffin. Of course, the head coach of Sacred Heart Griffin is Ken Leonard. He is, this is his last season before retirement. And our colleague Andy Olson from WCIA2 in Champaign tells the story of how the Cyclones want the winningest head coach in Illinois high school history to go out on top.
I didn't even think anything like this.
Before all the championships and accolades over his 47-year coaching career, Ken Leonard was still trying to prove it. Despite more than 200 wins and 2 title game appearances to that point, the Sacred Heart Griffin head coach was missing one thing: a state title trophy. That is, until 2005.
And for the first time, the Cyclones can call themselves state football champions.
Yeah, it was tremendous relief. I mean, because I started in 80 and didn't get it so it took me 25 years.
And after winning that first, the dam was broken, and SHG won 5 titles over the next 10 seasons. Its most recent at Memorial Stadium in 2014. After falling in the 4A title game a season ago, Leonard's 2022 squad returns a lot of the same pieces, and they remind him of those championship teams.
This team, skill-wise, is as good as we've ever had. I mean, they can really score, and they're very explosive. And when you can do that, you got a chance.
It really gave us like that confidence, that experience and all that to push each other to get better at practice every day and know our goal is to make it to the state and win state this year.
And the Cyclones are more than aware this is the last call for their legendary coach. More than anything, they want to send him out on top.
Every time he talks with us, he says that it's not all about him. And we know that, but we're just trying to make it all about him.
For him, we want to put that last bit of icing on the cake.
I want them to experience that. They got to experience the state championship last year. Now we got to win the state championship.
Certainly a Hall of Fame career for that man right there, Ken Leonard, as his Cyclones are warming up, getting geared up for this 4A state title against the Providence Catholic Celtics. Well, we need to take a time out, and we'll be back with more from Memorial Stadium right here on the IHSA television network.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and they care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Would you look at that? I'm in the classroom again. But this time, I can apply these skills to make some money. Lots of money.
Family dinner with kids, not easy. You know what is easy? OSF On-Call Urgent Care. Get treatment for minor illnesses and injuries in person or connect 24/7 online. OSF On-Call Urgent Care.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Champaign-Urbana. Coming up in just a little bit is the 4A state title game as the Cyclones of Sacred Heart Griffin, the number 2 seed, taking on the Celtics of Providence Catholic, the number 13th seed. Welcome back. My name is Mark Kruger. You know, in Class 7A, the Pekin Dragons had a season to remember, making it to the state quarterfinals. Well, Jim Mattson from 25 News in Peoria reports that the Dragons' record-breaking season had an unlikely hero.
1 year ago, injuries hit the Pekin High football team, and they needed a kicker. So the Dragons turned to the girls' soccer team and sophomore Miley Hansen. Hansen made school history, becoming the first girl to play varsity football at Pekin, and she was also quite the kicker for the Dragons. Miley had so much fun as a sophomore, there was no doubt she was coming back for this, her junior season.
I had such a fun year my first year, and we did so good as a team, and I felt so welcome that I was like, I'm for sure doing this again.
Now, it was last year in Miley's rookie football year that I asked the soccer standout on kickoffs, what if she had to make a tackle?
And you told me you would be able to tackle a guy on a kickoff if it came to it.
Yes.
And no fear.
No fear.
Little fear?
Maybe a little.
Week 4 this year versus Washington, Miley showed no fear. On this kickoff, it appeared the Washington Panthers had a touchdown. The Panther runner had just one man to beat. But it wasn't a man. It was Miley who made the touchdown-saving tackle.
And I was like, oh no, like this is happening, like this guy's going this way, nobody's there. And I started like shuffling over and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually gonna have to do this. And then my adrenaline kicked in and he did get the best of me there. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I'm going down, he's coming down with me. So I brought him down with me.
It was right about this spot at Memorial Stadium where Miley Hansen graduated from Miley the kicker to Miley the football player. Her full contact touchdown-saving tackle certainly fired up her Dragon teammates.
Everybody about the team talks about laying your body out for the team every Friday night, and it was amazing that she actually laid her body out for the team and made the tackle when we needed it.
Because they always joked about, like, Miley, you're going to have to tackle one of these days. Like, you better tackle. And I'm like, I don't know, no.
Now you're ready to play linebacker?
Oh, no. I'll stick to kicking.
Hansen's kicking and tackling made her a fan favorite in Pekin. But it was week 11, round 2 of the playoffs, that Miley became a legend. With Pekin's game against Normal Community tied 31-31 and 30 seconds to go, Miley Hansen boomed through the game-winning extra point, giving Pekin a school record 11th win.
I was so nervous, but I was so ready to win it for our team. I didn't want our seniors to go home with a loss, and I wanted it for us all, and I didn't want the season to end there. It was just so exciting.
Miley Hansen, a big part of Pekin's school record 11 wins this year. You bet she can't wait to come back and play her senior year of football next fall at Pekin High.
What a great story it is. You know, next season as a senior, Miley Hansen will look to help her team run further into the playoffs and hopefully to a state championship. Cyclones and the Celtics gearing up for the 4A title game right here on the IHSA television network. And welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Champaign-Urbana. We get set for the 4A state championship game. It's the Cyclones of Sacred Heart Griffin trying to run the table, trying to become the third state champion to go undefeated. They, of course, were here last year, lost to Joliet Catholic. They're going up against the Celtics of Providence Catholic. Providence, by the way, did beat Joliet Catholic this year in the second round of the playoffs. And to call this one, let's send it upstairs to two Hall of Famers and two dear friends of mine, Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo. Gentlemen?
Well, thank you very much, Mark. And, we just got done watching a game of playmakers. And we've got more coming up this game for Sacred Heart Griffin. How about Keyshawn Singleton?
Hey, he's really special. The Air Force commit is a threat every time he touches a football. He can extend the field. He's a vertical threat. Anytime he catches the football, he's a threat to score. He is best when the game is on the line. The bigger the stage, the better number 5 performs for SHG.
And for Providence Catholic, quarterback Lucas Proudfoot has just had a solid season.
Well, he's a playmaker, but his job is to manage the football game. He's a 3-year starter. He's been good consistently as a decision maker. He's coming off a semifinal performance of 3 touchdown passes last weekend. Tonight, his job is to manage the game and hit a couple big balls for the Celtics.
Warm-ups completed. We're ready for 4A football. Stick around. The 4A championship. Sacred Heart Griffin, Providence Catholic, coming your way next.
You witness threats every day.
You're not going to walk away next time.
And you might feel like there's nothing you can do.
There's going to be a big fight at the school.
No, really?
But now, there's a place.
Look at what they posted about her.
Safe to Help Illinois.
Hey, I'm worried about Bobby. He might hurt himself.
It's available 24/7, and your info is confidential. Seek help before harm with Safe to Help Illinois.
Want a great career? Join the Carpenters Union and be part of the next generation building our communities. With the Carpenters Union Career Connections program, high school students get a head start on the industry's leading curriculum. Learn the latest in construction technology and the many skilled crafts the Carpenters Union represents. Plus, earn as you learn. Receive a nice paycheck, health insurance benefits, and best of all, no college debt. Ask your school district to participate in the Career Connections program and get started on your future.
Black Friday is here at Menards, and we've got the perfect present for your loved ones. With something for Dad, Mom, and the kids. Everyone in the family will get what they want, even your furry friends. Enjoy the season and the savings. Deck out the tree and stuff your stockings with these great gifts at amazing prices. Hurry in and save big money. These deals won't last long. Doors open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday.
Save big money at Menards.
There are more than 20,000 ways to experience Illinois State.
Hey, what's up? You ready to go to class?
What kind of Redbird will you be? Hi. Create your legacy at Illinois State University.
The fourth game of the day is the Class 4A Championship coming your way from Memorial Stadium on the campus University of Illinois. And what a great matchup. 15 combined state champions between Providence Catholic and Sacred Heart Griffin. Glad you could join us, everybody. I'm Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo. Mark, what are we looking at tonight?
Well, I think we're looking at Providence. They have to control the line of scrimmage, control the football. They have to win time of possession because SHG has such an explosive offense. You got to keep their offense on the boundary.
Providence Catholic, winners of 10 state championships, ready to take the field in front of their crowd. Here come the Celtics, 9-4 on the season. They had a 4-4 record going into week 9. And on the other side for Sacred Heart Griffin, the Cyclones under head coach Ken Leonard retiring after this one. Here comes SHG, the second time in 2 years in the championship ball game. We've got championship football for you coming up next from Champaign.
From the days of the one-room schoolhouse, public schools have always been the heart of our community. It's where our students learn and are inspired to dream big, where we cheer on our teams under Friday night lights, and where parents, teachers, students, and loved ones come together as one. Now, more than ever, our public schools unite us. This message is brought to you by the Illinois Education Association, IEA. Because we are stronger, united.
For extraordinary moments in life, you should never have to settle for ordinary healthcare coverage. That's why at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we put the extra in our plans. extra me time to catch up on your faves, with telehealth visits included. Extra peace of mind, knowing a nurse line is here 24/7 for those unexpected moments. Visit us at bcbsilextra.com to enroll, because extraordinary coverage should come with extraordinary extras.
There are more than 20,000 ways to experience Illinois State.
Hey, what's up? You ready to go to class?
What kind of Redbird will you be? Hi. Create your legacy at Illinois State University.
Black Friday is here at Menards, and we've got the perfect present for your loved ones. With something for Dad, Mom, and the kids. Everyone in the family will get what they want, even your furry friends. Enjoy the season and the savings. Deck out the tree and stuff your stockings with these great gifts at amazing prices. Hurry in and save big money. These deals won't last long. Doors open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday.
Save big money at Menards.
The IHSA, committed to keeping student athletes safe. Through educational initiatives and national partnerships, we're going the distance to develop safer protocols for our teams. Plus, we continue to improve scheduling and conditioning to reduce injuries from preseason through each state championship. 31 sports, 350,000 student athletes, and one goal, player safety. The IHSA, the future plays here.
Licking head coach Tyler Plants. His team will kick off to Sacred Heart Griffin. The Cyclones winning the toss. They want the ball, and why not? You average almost 54 points per game. Ken Leonard says, give me that ball. Let's see what we can do. It'll be Anthony Pagliaro to kick it off for Providence. He has it teed up on the left hash mark, and he'll look to kick this away from the dangerous return men for SHG. On the return for Sacred Heart Griffin, they'll cross the 33-yard line, or about the 43-yard line. Return goes to SHG, and here are the ISU keys to the game. Create your legacy at Illinois State University.
Well, be special. Third phase of the game's been a focus for the Celtics. They've been good at it. 2 kick blocks and an onside kick gained early on. Third down defense, they have to get off the field against Sacred Heart Griffin. And then SHG, speed and space. A team full of playmakers. Can they get them the ball, let them make plays, which leads to explosive, fast break points. The Cyclones scoring 53 points a game. A key to look for. How many scores can they get from 20 yards out or more? We shall see.
Sacred Heart Griffin returning 16 starters, nearly their entire skill position players from last year's championship ball game, a game they lost to Joliet Catholic Academy, and pretty decisively. In fact, it was maybe one of the best 4A teams ever in the state of Illinois in Joliet Catholic Academy. It'll be Ty Lott running the show for the Cyclones.
All-state quarterback for Ken Leonard. Ken Leonard's coaching his 498th game here tonight.
He'll go to the air early, and nobody home. Maybe a pattern that was misread, and the intended receiver, Maddox Morris, thought he may have been held up at the line of scrimmage. Ken Leonard may have felt the same way.
Ken Leonard right there talking to the official. Already set the table for a call later on.
418 wins and 43 years overall coaching for Ken Leonard. Started his coaching career at El Paso Gridley High School, the last 39 years at SHG. 386 victories, those 418 wins, all-time high in Illinois State football coaching history.
Ty Lott, quarterback, first team All-Stater, 36 touchdowns against just 3 interceptions on the season.
That is unbelievable. He's facing big-time pressure. Lott will get away from him momentarily, but he'll be dropped. Celtics coming hard. Number 53, B.J. Olson, in the midst of it.
Olson gets in a hurry, almost untouched, blocking things up, and he finishes up. But there were 2, 3, 4 white hats in the backfield. Winning that battle at the line of scrimmage, a front 4 for the Celtics, getting the job done. Loss of 7 sets up this long third down conversion opportunity.
That was actually Dominic Agati, the defensive end, that really burst through. And penalty flag down, and the Providence Catholic fans, very happy bunch right now. Then we talk about Providence Catholic, 9-4 on the season. However, the schedule they played, unbelievable.
We have a dead ball, false start, offense, number 53, 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down. The game clock will start on my signal.
Let's take a look at the offensive starters for Sacred Heart Griffin. Starting lineup presented by OSF. Skill players, people up front. Over the middle, deep, and overthrown by about 10 yards. And Sacred Heart Griffin did not look comfortable on that series.
Well, on 2nd down, they get the big pass rush and the sack, and on 3rd down, SHG gets what they want out of Providence. Sacred Heart Griffin gets one-on-one coverage. They played man at the back end, and no separation created by Sacred Heart Griffin at all. Give kudos to the back end of the Celtic defense on that 3rd down play. Nary an open yard to find for Lott to find the ball into a tight pocket.
Mason Grove to do the punting, one of the top kickers in the state. He averages 40 yards per punt. This is an end-over-end kick. Room to return. Across the 40. Brought down. Look at the speed from Bill Sanders making the stop on Michael Volts, or Mitchell Volts.
Boy, you get open field tackle like that on special teams. That's really a bonus. He negated a big play.
The Providence Catholic starters, starting lineups presented by OSF, the offensive unit for Providence Catholic. Celtics 9-4 on the season. 3 straight games early in the year. They played defending state champs. We'll start with defense for Providence Catholic. We'll get more of that later, as very quickly Lucas Proudfoot brings his team to the line. He gives it off to his favorite running back. That's Jamari Tribbett. Short gain on 1st down.
Well, they go double tight end. So that tells you we're going to play some power football right there. They try to go between the tackles. Pretty decent 3-4 yard gain on 1st down. But it's basically we're going to line up and we're going to fight you in the trenches right now, say the Celtics.
Providence Catholic coming off a 17-14 win over St. Francis in the semifinals. Trailed most of that game before taking the lead with 4 minutes to play. Proudfoot looking to pick a hole. He's able to get a couple of yards, set up a 3rd down, about 5. Check out those starting lineups for Providence. Your quarterback Lucas Proudfoot, Jamari Tribbett. Keep an eye on Alex Gibson. Jack Tess is a go-to receiver for the Celtics. And on the offensive front, Barry Hesselman. D in the middle leads the charge. Eric Murray and then Chris Piazza on the right side.
D's the one that makes the calls from the center position, calls out the blocking assignments. Right now, Sacred Heart Griffin just 3 down linemen, basically a 3-5 defense, 1 safety deep.
To the air. Here comes the pressure. Proudfoot has to get rid of it. And oh my, did Richard Jackson come hard after Lucas Proudfoot, number 24.
Yeah, Jackson with a speed rush on the outside. He just flushed the pocket with his speed on the backside. He comes off the edge. Proudfoot knew it in a hurry and was able to negate the sack by throwing that ball away outside the tackle box. But speed from the defensive end or outside edge position created that play.
Drew Zamitis to punt this away, and he will be kicking it to Keyshawn Singleton, standing just inside his own 15-yard line. Zamitis will give Singleton a chance at it. He'll make the catch on a dead run. Oh, Keyshawn Singleton had some room on the outside before he was tripped up, getting the hand in play there for Providence, number 85, Luke Holman. So each team has had the ball. They've run 3 plays with a punt, and we are underway here in Class 4A championship football.
Black Friday is here at Menards, and we've got the perfect present for your loved ones. With something for Dad, Mom, and the kids. Everyone in the family will get what they want, even your furry friends. Enjoy the season and the savings. Deck out the tree and stuff your stockings with these great gifts at amazing prices. Hurry in and save big money. These deals won't last long. Doors open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday.
Save big money at Menards.
How do you predict the future? You create it. You build a foundation, pave a path forward, soak up the journey, and turn experiences into something life-changing. At Illinois State University, we deliver on what every college should promise you: the opportunity and tools to write your legacy every day. The rest is up to you. What will you create? Create your legacy at Illinois State University.
The IHSA Football State Championships are being brought to you in part by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs. And by ISU. Create your legacy at Illinois State University.
Tyler Plant's first season, former Providence Catholic star linebacker, had a chance for a couple of state championships, and he says that's one of his biggest regrets, that he never got one as a player at Providence Catholic. Lott under heavy pressure for the second time already. He will go down. Now at the bottom of the pile, number 50, Jack Bohenchik. Bohenchik with that sack. 6'4", 220-pound junior.
Yeah, they are putting hats to football. Watch 1, 2, 3, 4 Celtics in on there. And you know what? You're a big play guy if you're Ty Lott and All-Stater. But if you have no room to create a play, you become that much less effective. Really good gang tackling. Hats to the party, if you will, for the Celtics.
Now Lott will get it out in a hurry into the hands of Singleton. Singleton looking for a block to the outside. He'll get about 5-6 yards on the play. And that is the task here for Sacred Heart Griffin tonight, to get the ball in the hands of people who make the big-time plays. And there's number 5, Keyshawn Singleton.
He and Ty Lott, the quarterback, are cousins, so they've been around each other and played with each other since they were, 5 or 6 years old. I think they know each other well.
Three receivers here to the near wide side of the field. Lott's going to go left side. And that's overthrown, knocked away, and it will be another defensive stand by Providence Catholic.
And you know what happened again? Providence brought 6 guys at least on that pass rush, and that puts the corners at one-on-one coverage. Look at all the pressure there at one-on-one coverage at the back end. But they've been able to negate any kind of separation. Really solid defense. Coach Plants really likes that, what his defensive scheme is doing. A really nice play there by Luke Leverett for the Celtics.
Sophomore started all season for Providence Catholic. Grove gets it away again. Nice high kick. Room to run from the 40. And that is wrestled down by Jake Kepler. So neither team has been able to move the ball. 7:43 to play in the first. We are scoreless.
Behind every Delta Dental of Illinois dental plan, you'll find members happy to know they can trust the tooth. To help them save money on dental care, find a dental plan that fits you. Get affordable coverage today. Behind every Delta Dental of Illinois dental plan, you'll find people smiling because they know they can trust the tooth to protect and take care of their smiles. Find a dental plan that fits you. Get dental. It's essential.
The state championships return to the University of Illinois for the first time in 4 years. Providence Catholic makes their way here to Champaign. via New Lenox and Sacred Heart Griffin right there in Springfield. The journeys across the state. They land right here at Memorial Stadium. 3 possessions, no yardage. And there you take a look at a first-year coach on the left, Tyler Plants, a 43-year coach in Ken Leonard. Tyler Plants just starting his coaching career. Ken Leonard wrapping it up after tonight's game. Short gain on first down by Jamari Tribbett.
Tyler Plants played at Providence, then coached for a while at Notre Dame under Brian Kelly, worked with him, got a Division III job out in West Virginia, and ended up back in New Lenox. Now in year number 1 has his team playing for a title on Thanksgiving weekend.
One man in the backfield, he'll get the handoff. Looking to cut off a block, but a good job underneath. A big cartwheel tackle from Javion Bardwell, 5'9", 150-pound senior. The carry went to Caden Nickel.
Oh, Bardwell great in the open field. He had a fumble recovery in the semifinal, so he can make a play. When they were trailing that ball game, Sacred Heart, Bardwell said we did what we needed to do, and he did it just there with a great one-on-one tackle. A little bit of outside zone blocking scheme for the Celtics. They continue to go power football with double tight ends.
Proudfoot to throw. Proudfoot to crank it up. Deep over the middle. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play. Right there on the coverage was DeAndre Stewart. And it was intended for number 32, Gavin Hagan.
Hagan gets one-on-one coverage. DeAndre Stewart ready for the challenge. Watch him look back for the football right there and knock it down right as the ball came. So did Stewart's right arm. Really good one-on-one coverage to negate what would have been a really big play to Gavin Hagan, the 6', 160-pound sophomore. Defense wins that battle and gets his team off the field.
Once again, it will be Zemaitis to punt it away. Singleton now standing inside his 10-yard line. Looking to create a little space. Zemaitis will kick it away from Singleton. This is going to work out very well for Providence Catholic. That ball rolls dead at the 12-yard line. 39-yard punt in a great location, and starting at the 12, Sacred Heart Griffin will look to get some positive yardage. They've been held to negative yardage through their first 2 series.
Yeah, and this Sacred Heart Griffin team put up 56 in the semifinal against Rochester. They had 0 points and 0 first downs. 0 first downs in the semifinal after 1 quarter. They ended up with 56 points in that football game.
Short side of the field, but making a great cut there is Richard Jackson. Jackson left sideline. Now it's a race. Jackson to the 30, to the 20. Is he going to make it? Down near the 5-yard line. Prior to that play, these 2 teams had combined for only 6 yards on 12 snaps from scrimmage. Richard Jackson changes all of that.
He came off a 102-yard game in the semifinal. Really good cut. How about that agility, the ability to change directions quickly. Then it's a race down the field and a would-be touchdown-saving tackle by Mason Santiago right there for the Celtics. 84 yards, get them deep in the red zone.
Jackson again to the goal line, and he's in. Richard Jackson goes 84 yards and finishes it up for the early lead.
I tell you what, the old adage, where there's a will, there's a way, and he just made his way into the end zone, just fighting, scrapping, clawing for the last 2 or 3 yards after contact, and now he's coming off the field loving it, and so does his fan base. What a great, exhilarating 84-yard run, and then that finish, carrying a couple defenders into the end zone. Big time couple of runs there.
Mason Grove for the extra point. Right through 2 plays, 88 yards. The first 84 from Jackson. The final 4 from Jackson.
Boy, just second, third, fourth effort. Just wouldn't be denied on this touchdown. Little inside handoff. Watch his eyes keep up. There he's hit. and hit and hit, and he just keeps driving, grinding those legs, low center of gravity, and a high 6 points in the end zone.
Explosive. That's the word for Sacred Heart Griffin. This is what the Cyclones have done all year long.
You know, Richard Jackson had a touchdown in the semifinals. It was like 4th and inches. Remember that play? And he was stopped. And did he get the first down? Yes, but then he took it all the way house. He just did the exact same kind of play. Just won't be denied. You think you got him? And no, just so strong with his lower body. Good look at 24. Turns and says hello to us and enjoys his well-earned visit on the sideline.
5'9", 185-pound senior. 16 starters return from last year's second-place team. You see the big monitor, the Providence Catholic bench.
They're watching Dave Bernhardt's play-by-play calls.
Well, I don't think they like what they saw.
Not on that one. That young man would like to see it.
Well, he'll get his chance. 5:38 to play in the first. Grove, who makes it a habit to put the ball in the end zone. Such a great weapon for the Cyclones.
Field position, oh so important.
And that will make its way into the end zone. Sacred Heart Griffin on their first 2 possessions could go nowhere. But then all of a sudden, they got the ball into the hands of Richard Jackson.
Just a really special run right here. Watch him plant his left foot. Boom. And then he just cuts back against the grain. 2 or 3 white shirts, helmets chasing him. Not a chance. Touchdown saving tackle just for one play, if you will, by White. And then the touchdown with the nice little shake and bake, and then the drive to the end zone.
Well, Providence looking at the scoreboard down 7-0. Nothing there initially for Proudfoot. He's able to get it out to Tribbett. Lucas Proudfoot throwing more this year. Last year he was more of a runner. Starting to digest the defenses, making adjustments at the line. He's really come into his own this year.
Tribbett carries out his play fake and then makes a really nice one-handed grab, which needed great concentration because he knew he had to prepare to take a hit.
And looking at the far sideline, not sure if there's something with the chain, the yard marker. Corey West, linebacker for Sacred Heart Griffin, is supervising. Did he get caught up in it?
I think he was caught. Holding.
Well, I am holding on the chain gang. I have never seen that.
Well, Corey West is such a great defender. That's one way to keep him in check by tying him out of the sideline.
Now Proudfoot up underneath center, Sean D. Off right guard and tackle, and that will be enough for the first down. First down here, and here's watch number 45, Corey West. Whoa, whoa, what do I have here?
The Celtics get their first down, their initial one. That's so important because they have to move the chains and use some clock and keep that Sacred Heart Griffin offense on the boundary. That's the best way to slow them down.
Good hard running up the middle. Staying on the ground to Tribbett. Jamari Tribbett's had to battle some injuries this season, junior. It's a young Providence Catholic team.
They're coming off a 3-6 season. But Tyler Plant said when he came in, the mentality was when you coach, you tell your team we're going to try to play for the state championship. So 3-6, are you kidding me last year? But they've turned it right around, and again, needed a week 9 win to even make the playoffs. And since then, they have just played very solid football week after week.
He had a convincing win over Richmond Burton, 31-14. Proudfoot, line drive pass, and just off off the fingertips at about the 30-yard line. He thought he had his man, and in fact, Jack Tess thought he may have been able to pull it in.
Yeah, he split the DBs, and Jake Hamilton 4 and Javion Bardwell 10. Well-thrown ball. Separation right between the two DBs, but just an inch too tall on that coverage. Really well-run route.
And that was one good-looking tight spiral from Proudfoot as well.
Through a seed. Proudfoot's been pretty solid all year, making big plays in Magic at the same time. 5'11", 185 is Proudfoot, now working out of the pistol.
1 for 4 on the night throwing the ball. He's going to crank it again. This time he has his man. Complete across the 30 to the 25, stumbling down to about the 20-yard line. He's able to find Charlie Soltis.
Soltis gathers this ball in. Proudfoot on time, on target. Soltis, little skinny post. Splits two defenders, gets 39 yards on that explosive play for the Celtics. Got a little bit of mo on their side right now.
Get to the line in a hurry. They'll try that right side. Excellent tackle there. Undercutting the ball carrier. That was Javion Bardwell. Tyler Plants looks on as his offense pulled this one off, the 39-yard completion.
Yeah, he got that ball into a tight window. Soltis knew what to do with the yards after the catch. Providence is business and gets a pretty nice first down pickup to make second down an offensive quarter's play calling joy.
Mason Santiago in the backfield. He'll get the call. Offensive line surges forward, but he's undercut very nicely there. Once again, it's Richard Jackson on a night. He's had both offensively and defensively.
Cyclones with a few two-way players. Again, a big part of their team back from last year's state championship opportunity.
Providence marching down the field. This is the 8th play of the drive that started at the 20. Proudfoot sees an opening. And depending on the spot of the ball, he will be close to that first down.
Yeah, he went out of the pistol, Proudfoot. He had trips to the left. He had twins to the right. So, of course, the defense was incredibly spread out, right? You can't spread them anymore. He saw a little bit of a seam on what looked like a quarterback draw, but I think it was still just a broken down play that he saw that seam, sets up this huge fourth down play early on to keep their drive alive.
4th and a little less than a yard. They'll go back into that pistol. But first, the timeout called by the Celtics. Referee for our 4A championship game, Dean Magro. He's assisted out there by Marcus Mann, Spiro Hayes, Wayne Cushenberry, and Rick Cunningham.
Now, when you see a quarterback under center, obviously you're thinking run. But a quarterback goes to the pistol, which means the quarterback is about 5 yards back. He has a better opportunity to pass, but the running back's normally to his right or left, and it's a run situation, in difference to the shotgun, where the quarterback is 7 yards back, and it is predominantly passing lineup.
Here's how Providence Catholic made its way here to Champaign. That second-round win over Joliet Catholic Academy avenged a defeat at the hands of the Hilltoppers early this season. I mentioned that convincing win over Richmond Burton, the come-from-behind victory over Wheaton St. Francis. 9-4 on the season here in the championship game. The Celtics will look to light it up here on 4th and less than a yard. Santiago, he's got it more inside the 10 near the 5. Mason Santiago, a senior who's brought up to the team as a freshman.
Picks up 9 on the inside handoff there. Makes one guy miss, which he's able to do. Really a nice run for the two-way player. They call him their X factor because he could do a whole lot of things to help his ball club.
1st and goal from the 7. Looking for the game-tying score. stay on the ground. Head down, driving forward. And will they give him forward progress for Santiago? They do to the 4-yard line. Santiago was stopped just about at the line of scrimmage and picked himself up a valuable 3 yards.
So he's feeling a little bit of rhythm right now, working really well with his offensive line. Proudfoot with a couple plays in this drive. Santiago doing the rest, and looks like after 11 plays, look at the Cyclone defenders holding their hips right now. A little bit tired are the Cyclones, back on their heels on this drive.
2nd and goal from the 4. The whistles blow because that's the end of the first quarter. A fun first quarter. We've seen some defense. We've seen some big plays. And when we come back, it'll be 2nd and goal, looking for a game-tying score for Providence Catholic.
Visit OSF on call.org/.
We welcome you back to Memorial Stadium along with Mark Lindo and Casey Standenhar. I'm Dave Bernhardt, and we have a couple of teams that are really going at an impressive drive here for Providence. It's taken them to the 4-yard line.
Well, they've done it with the ground game right now. Santiago's done a really nice job running the football. The offensive line has not really created a bunch of seams, but they have created a push into the defensive front of SHG.
Proudfoot will throw back, wide open, touchdown. Nobody on Anthony Piccolini, the tight end, and Providence a point from within, tying it up.
Every bit of the motion, every bit of the flow went to the boundary, to the right side of the field. And I'll tell you what, Proudfoot must have been just shocked how open his tight end was on this. He looks everything to the right, and then just throws it back to the left. An easy score right there for the Celtics to culminate a very solid drive.
Anthony Pagliaro, the kick, and we are tied. 7-7 on an 80-yard drive by Providence Catholic.
All Piccolini had to do was look that one as you see him walking out the field, taking some high fives. I don't know if he'll ever get an easier catch. And it was all the sleight of hand, all the flow going to the near side of the football field. The throwback was wide open. Watch everybody to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. And then the throwback to the left. And no one else in your screen. Just well executed single play for 11-play drive by Providence. Took it 80 yards after Sacred Heart Griffin had gone ahead. And the Celtics, with 10 state championships under their belt historically, answer.
So what have we seen? We've seen one explosive play of 84 yards that led to a 4-yard touchdown, and then we saw a sustained drive to a score.
Well, that's the contrast that we talked about, and that's exactly what Providence needs to do, is stay on the field, churn some clock, keep Sacred Heart Griffin on the boundary. Ty Lott and company can't do anything if they're on the sidelines.
80 yards, 11 plays, 5 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock. 2 seconds into the second quarter, we're tied at 7 in your 4A championship game. Once again, keeping it away from the dangerous return men. This time the return, a short one at that, is Hudson McMahon. Let's go down on the sidelines and Casey Standahar.
This week is particularly tough for head coach Tyler Plants and the Providence Catholic community. On Thanksgiving Day in 2020, Tyler's brother, Zach Plants, was tragically killed in a car accident. Ever since that moment, the Plants family has made it their life's mission to start a foundation in his name and donate his life insurance check funded the Zach Plants Performance Center in his name. Every year, the foundation holds what they call the Zacamo Bowl on Thanksgiving weekend. But this year, Coach Plants was so confident in this Celtics team, he told everyone, we can't have it on Thanksgiving weekend because we'll be at the state championships. His friends and family laughed and said, yeah, if you even make it to the playoffs. And he said, we will be there.
Wow, what a special story, Casey. Thank you very much. As we see the images of that Performance Center, very emotional time for that family. Pick up about 5 yards from Bill Sanders. Lott looking, flipping, has a man just overthrown. He was open for a moment. That ball sailed just a bit as it was Maddox Morris that tried to lay out for it.
Maddox Morris has a little bit of separation. He can make some big plays. Averages 17 yards a catch, just a little bit too tall. Those pink gloves needed one more inch to help him gather that one in.
Ty Lott, 1 of 5 in the air here tonight. He came in completing 75% of his passes.
Ken Leonard calls him Cool Hand Luke because of call cool and collected demeanor.
Once again looking to go deep. And it is caught inside the 30-yard line. What a grab by Jack Western. Lott laid it right in there, and somehow Western came up with it.
Well, if you think of Willie Mays' great catch over the shoulder, right there. Oh, the ball goes right over his shoulder for 36 yards. Great coverage downfield for Providence. And Mikulski, the safety, Jaden, was right with him, but a perfectly thrown ball to the outside back shoulder. And then the great catch over the shoulder a la Willie Mays on that one for the explosive play once again for the Cyclones.
36 yards, and it doesn't get any better than that from Jack Western.
And Mikulski right there. Sometimes you just tip your hat because a guy flat out made a play offensively.
Lott's going to go left side. Man breaks free. That's a touchdown. It's Jake Hamilton. 28-yard touchdown pass from Lott to Hamilton.
Hamilton wide open, 6'4". That's his 4th touchdown of the season receiving. And you called it 6'4". He didn't even need his height. He just needed the ball to get there. And once again, they strike so quickly. Lott threw that ball up. Hamilton was the only one close as the DB on that side, Luke Leverett, just wasn't in the vicinity. I think he thought he got pushed off. No call there.
If we go 3-by-1 and they get him by himself.
Once again, Grove right through with the 37th touchdown pass of the season for Ty Lott. He finds Jake Hamilton. Hamilton's 4th touchdown catch coming right at you. And a lead for the Cyclones. Dave Bernhardt, Mark Lindo upstairs. Mark, I already feel like I've been watching like 2 games in one. The first 4 possessions, nothing. And now we've had consecutive scores back to back to back.
Yeah, you know, a lot of offensive coaches, they script their first plays. What I mean by that, for our people back home, is that they've already decided their first 8 to 10 to 12 plays, whatever they decide to do. And what they're trying to do is use as many formations and show the defense, or see what the defense does against those things. Once you get out of script, if you've found your weakness, you go at it. And I think the offenses have gone at it right now. 3 straight scores. SHG, Providence, SHG once again.
Grove, who put his first kickoff into the end zone, will look to go from south to north. The wind, just a slight breeze blowing somewhat out of the west. If there's any advantage at all, maybe a little southwest here for Grove. So he has the wind behind him just a bit, and that will carry the man into the end zone. Sacred Heart Griffin, what an interesting road they had to get to this championship game. It was the Leonard Bowl in the semifinals for the Griffins, or for the Cyclones, and look at that score, 56-42, but there's more to that. Rochester jumped out to a 28-0 lead. Son Derek Leonard, the head coach of Rochester, but yet in the final 17 minutes, SHG scored 35 points. That Waterloo win, that's when Ken Leonard missed that game. He was ill and had to watch the game from home, and it drove him crazy. He said it was horrible, just horrible watching it because his team trailed going into that final quarter.
Yeah, he was laying on the couch sick, and he got sicker after the first half with his team trailing. Made a few phone calls at halftime, and maybe his impact had something to do with that comeback. And, you know, that Waterloo and Sacred Heart Griffin, see Ken Leonard there, his team has only had to play 4 quarters 2 times all year. I mean, they've had some just incredible scores up and down their schedule to where they've just dominated teams that have running clocks week in and week out.
Yeah, they had 9 straight weeks of a running clock. Now Providence looking to play a little catch up here. No power forward with Santiago. That should be enough for a first down across the 30. Or make that is Caden Nickel on the carry. Nickel, he caught the game-winning touchdown pass with 4 minutes left in the semifinal win over St. Francis. Nickel, a 5'8", 180-pound junior. This starting lineup on the offensive side for Providence features 1 sophomore, 4 juniors.
Nickel's battled some injuries, but he ran hard there. 26-yard TD in the semi, and he was dinged a little bit. He said, "Did I score?" He didn't even know he'd found it with the end zone.
Strong tackle made on the inside after a short pickup from Hudson McMahon. McMahon, the senior, the son of assistant coach Jim McMahon. McMahons have had an impact on Sacred Heart Griffin football for many years.
124 total tackles for Hudson McMahon. That's a ton. With a great nose for the football. Keeps his eyes really well. Knows where the football is going. 5'10", 210 pounds, and he will hit you. Also has 5 sacks on the season. Is number 33.
Here comes McMahon on the blitz. But Proudfoot going to the other side, and now a flag is down, and a second one goes down. They were bringing everybody, running away from Proudfoot's, or from McMahon's side. This may be a face mask.
I think it's going to be. Yeah, you're right. They've showed 4 of the down linemen, then they came with a blitz.
Yeah, personal foul, face mask on the defense. Number 9. The penalty reinforced from the end of the game. The result of the penalty is a first down.
It's Reggie Thomas that got in there.
Dean Margot on that call. A little inside handoff fake. And then just dragged down on a face mask. An easy call right there against Proudfoot.
So that pushes the ball all the way up to the 43-yard line.
Reggie Thomas got there. We got that hand right on the face guard of Proudfoot.
Proudfoot will dump it off. And going nowhere. He got it to Alex Gibson. Then the black jerseys came Then got Gibson.
Richard Jackson, the first one to get there. So try to get the ball on the perimeter. Very well schemed by Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones.
Number 77 right there in the middle of your picture. That's PJ Smizer. 6'4", 400 pounds is what he is listed.
400 pounds as we ISO on that young man, playing nose tackle, the one technique right over between center and guard.
Tess will get the ball. And he'll set up a 3rd and long. Now, when you take a look at PJ Smizer, it takes 2 or 3 men to slow him down.
Yeah, they double teamed him. He's right over the center. And his job really isn't to make tackles. His job is just to blow up blocking schemes. Now, he'll come out on 3rd down because it's a pass rush situation rather than a run defense. So they make situational substitutions, do the Cyclones.
They'll spread that defensive line out. Proudfoot eyes it deep. Intercepted at the 15-yard line. Finally down after the interception is DeAndre Stewart. Stewart's been in on a couple of plays, and that's a big turnover right there, forced by Stewart.
DeAndre Stewart kind of played center field on that long 3rd down pass. Proudfoot let that ball up just a little bit too long. Rolls to his right, lets it go. And Stewart just used his eyes to gather that ball in. It was coming to him. And making the tackle after the play was the would-be receiver. That is Gavin Hagan.
Celtics showed 6 men on the line. Now they back off with 5. On the ground. Short side of the field. Good wheels. Boy, Jackson got there in a hurry. Take a look back at that interception from DeAndre Stewart coming right at you.
Yeah, that ball's up in the air an awful long time. DeAndre Stewart had his beat on that football for an awful long time. That too much hang time. Stewart was able to put on the brakes after playing coverage and come back to the football and get that interception.
Once again, and there's some room. Big block on the outside. Well, that didn't look like it was going to go much of anywhere, and then all of a sudden, the big block sprung Jackson.
Joe Schweska on this big block. 67 right there. Kaboom! With a pancake block. 23 yards as the offensive lineman really opens it up for the running back there. Nice block by 67 Schweska. 5'11", 250.
Lot with some time. Now it's SHG that thinks there may have been a little defensive pass interference. No call. Seven carries, 118 yards on the ground here for Sacred Heart Griffin.
A little bit of contact as the ball was in the air.
I think Maddox Morris thought he was held. Jake Hamilton, number 4, thought he was victimized as well. Not much room to run out at the 46-yard line. That time it's Bill Sanders. Sanders' first name is Errol, but he goes by Bill.
How do you get Bill out of Errol? We'll have to ask him.
I was trying to do a little word game there to see if I could switch the letters around. Not happening. SHG 1 of 3 on 3rd downs, and they've got 3rd and 10 staring them in the face right here. Lott on a screen to Sanders. Sanders with a lot of room. Here goes Bill Sanders. He's going to take it the distance. What a well-designed play. What a well-executed play.
46 yards of house. They get the ball to Speedster on an inside screen. Really well executed blocking, set up well. When he got in from the 30, 35-yard line. It was just a race to the end zone, and nobody going to catch him.
Boy, did that field open up for Sanders.
John Allison, the offensive coordinator, drew that one up. They've worked on it time and time again, and it was executed to perfection.
Good job by Levi Hanover to get the ball down. Grove put it through, and just like that, 21-7 lead for Sacred Heart Griffin. Bill Sanders right there. One block, one move, and he's gone. 2-touchdown lead for the Cyclones.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Bill Sanders has caught his breath after that one. A couple of touchdowns here in succession. This one coming after the interception from DeAndre Stewart. Second touchdown pass for Ty Lott. The Sanders will come out on the kickoff team as well.
So the last 2.5 games, Ty Lott has 8 touchdown passes, 2 touchdown runs. I'm not as good at math as you are, but that's 10 touchdowns accounted for in 2.5 games. That's pretty incredible.
Ty Lott, one of those 5 members of this football team who also was on the Class 3A state basketball team last spring, 6'2", 190-pound senior.
They won that state basketball game by an overtime field goal by Keyshawn Singleton. So these young men know how to win, don't they?
That's exactly what Ken Leonard said. Such a special group. Grove again. We'll send this into the end zone. Let's take a look back at that touchdown pass from Lott to that man right there.
Well, you know, we've showed some pancake blocks, some outstanding blocks, but sometimes you just have to be in the way and let your teammate see it. Now, look, a little push block right there by 56. 56 is no other than Connor Rockford. Connor Rockford, the offensive lineman, he couldn't play last year coming off an ACL injury. And no, he didn't get a pancake, but yes, he was an impediment right there for the would-be tackler, allowing his teammate to make a house call.
Proudfoot play action all day. Cranks it deep. Nearly intercepted. Good coverage on the play by Jake Hamilton. Looking for Jack Tess. You mentioned Connor Rockford, that ACL injury. That was the 3rd play of the season last year that Rockford was injured.
That ball, once again, Providence trying to play a little bit long ball after they had that long 80-yard sustained drive. They had a pass intercepted. Now take a shot on first down, trying to loosen up the SHG defense. Proudfoot.
Short pickup. It'll be 3rd down and long.
So Proudfoot, we'll see if he gets any intermediate routes, because he does have a good, strong arm.
The Providence needs an explosive play. The Cyclones have been the ones with explosive plays. There it is, an 84-yard rush that led to a touchdown. Then a 38-yard reception, a great catch by Jack Western, and then you just saw the 54-yarder.
And that's the way you average 53 points a game. Just unbelievable, the explosiveness Sacred Heart Griffin has. The Cyclones can score in a hurry.
Proudfoot. Nothing there. Coverage from Jake Kepler. Kickel was the intended receiver. And the defense comes up big now for Sacred Heart Griffin. Singleton will drop back to receive this punt. Jake Kepler, 6'3", 210-pound junior.
Cyclones scored the last 35 points of the Rochester win, 21 here. So they have been on a streak here the last basically 4 quarters of football last week in this.
Decent field position coming up here for Sacred Heart Griffin, and you really feel here with 5:36 to go in a half, this is danger time for Providence Catholic.
There is. We'll see if they decide to try to bring some pressure on Ty Lott, if they're going to rush 4, or try to bring some linebackers on the inside, keep him out of the pocket, because Ty Lott has had time to throw the football.
The offense comes back onto the field. How about this balance so far? 118 yards on the ground for SHG, 115 in the air. Cyclones have it from the 38-yard line. Singleton, his first catch of the night. And maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Highlight pass complete to Keyshawn Singleton.
B.J. Olson was there.
Tackled by Caden Bowden.
As we have seen all night long, as you see so much in high school football now, mainly because of Ken Leonard. The no-huddle offense, let's run as many plays as we can.
Ken Leonard, one of the first to utilize the spread offense years ago, and he utilized a quarterback run, which gives you extra runner, an extra blocker up front. So taking some initiatives was Ken Leonard years ago.
Little pump, pulling it down. Morris is there, could not hang on. Excellent coverage on the play, right there with them, step for step. It's Caden Bowdick.
Bowdick did not give an inch here. Plenty of time for Lott to throw the football. Got that one off his back foot just a little bit, but Bowdick right there as the ball arrived. Really good defensive play, one-on-one, negating any kind of catch by Maddox Morris there. Maddox Morris, a tough individual matchup, but the junior corner was right there with her.
And we talk about Maddox Morris and Jake Hamilton, Colin Johannes, Keyshawn Singleton, but it's Morris, the kind of the unsung hero of the receiving corps. He's the leading receiver this year for Sacred Heart Griffin. Now with 3rd down and 10, here comes everybody, and the whistles blow. Providence is bringing everyone. Third and 10 becomes now 3rd and 15.
Yeah, you go back to that crazy comeback that Sacred Heart Griffin had against Rochester in the Leonard Bowl. They had 2 possessions in a row where they got an interception. Actually, it was Maddox. Then he scored the touchdown pass. Then they got a fumble recovery. They scored a touchdown pass. So it was like 2 plays after 2 turnovers. That's how fast they scored in that football game during that comeback.
Looking into the eyes of Ty Lott, that long look to this near sideline. Now they'll back off. Looking for Hamilton. Knocked away once again. The coverage is there. This time it's from Luke Leverett. Big stand here for Providence when they needed it.
I tell you what, their DBs made a couple nice plays on this drive. Leverett right there, stride for stride. Got his hand in there at the last second to force this punt.
Plenty of time left here in the first half. 4:46. Grove doubles as the punter and place kicker. There's room to run. To the outside, a little bit of a stiff arm and more down that left sideline. The return from Mitchell Volts. And that gives the Providence sideline a little spark.
And we've talked about that at our open. One of the keys to the game with special teams. Providence has excelled on that. A couple kick blocks in the playoffs, an onside kick, and then the punt return game gives them good field position. The third phase of the game, any coach will tell you it's just important. Offense, defense, special teams, just as important. And coaches need to emphasize that and buy in with have their players buy into special teams play.
Providence gets the start from the 45-yard line. Tribbett to the outside. He's knocked out of bounds. He had something going along that left sideline.
Javion Birdwell saved Tribbett maybe getting that ball to the house. He was the last line of defense as he knocked him out of bounds. Tyler Plants knows this is a very important drive for his team with 4:27 to go in the half.
Providence Catholic not afraid to play from behind. However, this quite possibly the most explosive offense they have seen all season long. 21 points on the board for Sacred Heart Griffin, the most that Providence Catholic has allowed in the playoffs. To the near side. Positive yardage and more, staying in bounds. This is going to be inside the 20-yard line. That's Mason Santiago.
Santiago got a couple nice blocks by his offensive line as he comes off the field. They're getting a little rest after that. 22 yards on that pickup. Just a little inside jet right there. Really nice block by the big guy, 61, leading the way, says, come follow me. Jack Burranger, 6'1", 215.
Second time inside the red zone. Tribbett will look to go outside a block. He does inside the 15 down to the 13. Big drive here by the Celtics.
Set up by that punt return, of about 18, 20 yards, gave them good field position. That punt return, special teams, gave them a little bit of a lift on their sideline, and now they're continuing to drive. Remember, they had an 80-yard drive earlier.
It's about as tight a huddle as you will see.
That's team bonding right there, huh?
Proudfoot back in the pistol. Celtics have mixed this up throughout this first half. Motion from Tess. He'll get that handoff. He'll get a block. Tess cuts back. He's inside the 5. First and goal, Providence.
Tess, really nice cutback, as you mentioned, because all his blocks went to the outside. He plants his foot, puts his foot in the dirt, cuts right back, follows 3 nice blocks downfield. The big guys really got out in front of him on that play.
Tess will come to the near right side. First down and goal from the 3. It'll be second and goal. Nickel, a 5'8", 180-pound junior.
So Celtics went double tight end that time, try to play power football and run him between the tackles. They're going to go line him up power again under center this time. Will they try to get the ball to the outside, or are they going to go mano against mano here on the inside trenches?
Up the middle for the score. Providence Catholic goes 45 yards when they needed it. 3-yard touchdown run. It was Caden Kickel again.
Caden Nickel with a nice run after his offensive line. They went unbalanced to the left. An extra blocker on the left side. Sacred Heart Griffin adjusted, but Nickel finds the house anyway. Really good job getting to pay dirt. And the Celtics with an impressive answer.
Big extra point attempt coming up. Bagliero. He gets it up, he gets it through, and we have a 7-point game with 2:20 to play in the first half.
The offensive line, a little outside zone, everybody pushing to the outside. Really nice finishing block by big number 61 for Providence, the last guy that let him in. That, once again, was Behringer at 6'1", 215, the junior. And his teammate gets in, but the entire left side with really good push there.
45 yards, 6 plays, all on the ground for Providence Catholic. Very reminiscent of that 80-yard drive that you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, so they needed the 80-yard one, obviously, and this one with a 21-7 deficit late in the first half. Sacred Heart Griffin on a roll. Providence, Tyler Plant's team right there answering with a very impressive drive set up by a solid punt return and then a little bit of ground and pound. It will. The offensive line really took over on that drive for the Celtics.
We've had 4 touchdowns scored here in the second quarter. Still plenty of time with 2:20 left. Definitely trying to stay away from the dangerous return men. However, the Cyclones have put Bill Sanders right there. I don't know whether Pagliaro had seen that number 1 was sitting there right where he was pooching it.
Yeah, they kicked to the same spot 3 straight times. That time Sanders says, okay, I'll get a shot. They move him. Really good, solid coaching opportunity right by SHG.
6 plays, 45 yards, only took a couple of minutes. Big time score. Now SHG will get their hands on the ball here from the 37-yard line. Sanders to join Lott in the backfield. To Hamilton. Nowhere to go. He was swallowed up by Luke Leverett. We've called his name a few times here tonight.
Really solid tackle out in space. They got the ball to a speedster. Leverett right there, though, to make a tackle.
Three timeouts left for Sacred Heart Griffin. Only a yard pickup on that play. Defense shifting just a bit.
Ty Lott using the play clock. They want this to be the last touch of the half, their possession.
Lott got rid of it. We avoided the sack. Avoided a loss of about 5. That was reminiscent of early in this game, very early in this game, where Lott was feeling a lot of pressure. 3rd down and 9.
Providence with a great opportunity on 3rd and long to blitz here and try to hurry up the progressions and not let Lott go through his progressions and checkdowns. They're showing blitz, 6 at the line in the box. They back off.
Lott between a couple of defenders. Waiting for a flag. It's not going to come. It's 4th down.
Ken Leonard on his side, I cannot believe there was a flag. There was some definite contact downfield. Was the ball catchable? That's up to the officials.
Kyle Long, his first target of the night.
Check the contact, if you will.
Some feet just kind of got tied up there. Well, coming over was Gavin Hagan, pretty strong. I guess
you make the call at home.
Yep.
And you see the Sacred Heart Griffin, you can hear their call, their fan base.
Mason Grove to punt it away for the 4th time. Hits this one well. That will drive Volts back. And this time, the coverage, excellent. By Sacred Heart Griffin as Kepler throws the man down, and a flag is down. Jake Kepler flung Volts down, and that may cost him 15 yards. And that would be a big 15 yards here with 1:06 to play in the half.
Dean Margot and his crew sorting things out, getting it right. Good communication with officials.
There's a dead ball, personal foul, late hit, number 21. It's a 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st down, Providence.
Things are starting to heat up a little bit here in Champaign. Here's a look at it.
You want a physical game? We got one going. Everything's clean so far, but the play continues.
And that's what cost them 15 yards and pushed the ball to the 49-yard line.
Plenty of time.
2 timeouts left for the Celtics. Need a block to get to the outside. To the 42-yard line. Santiago. Or make that Mason Santiago with the carry.
2 timeouts left for the Celtics. 50 seconds in running. And they're going to use one of them here. .48
seconds to play here in the first half. Now, this would not fit the style of the first 2 touchdowns scored by Providence, so they were able to grind it away, but they've only got 48 seconds to work with.
Yes, we'll see if they can go in a hurry-up mode. Obviously, they practice a 2-minute offense. That's what they're in right now. So they'll use the boundary as their friend. They'll use a first down as their friend. The clock stops for the moving of the chains. So they have plenty of time left in this half from the field position. They are on the 42-yard line.
We've already crowned 3 state champions today. We started at 10 a.m. It was brisk. Maybe a little bit of fog still hanging in the air. That's when Lena Winslow was able to knock off Camp Point Central, as Lena Winslow, the Panthers, picking up 3rd state title. And then St. Teresa, 1 touchdown win over Tri-Valley. And then game before this one, IC Catholic scored 48 straight points and won easily over Williamsville for the 3A championship. We're in Class 4A. Right now, we're moments away before the end of the first half. Tess will line up, be the 3rd man on that left side. Proudfoot, little screen. They'll look to get to the sidelines in a hurry. They do. That will stop the clock. Short gain, or a good enough game, a first down game, I should say, to Jamari Tribbett.
Well executed play. The scheme was good. They went trips to the far side, set up a screen to the boundary, the near side, move the sticks on a dead clock. Good execution by the Celtics.
The snap comes with 41 seconds to play and a half. Looking for a little bit more. Knocked away. Excellent coverage on the play from Jake Hamilton.
Hamilton was right there. That ball was right on the hands of Alex Gibbons, the tight end. As soon as he came out of his break, the ball was there. Watch it. There's his break. There's the ball. And there's the stick on right as the ball arrived. So did the defender. Really solid play defensive by Hamilton at 6'4", 195.
2nd and 10. 34 ticks left on the first half clock. Looking right. Throwing right. Too much. .30 seconds and 3rd and 10.
Providence showing a lot of different looks offensively. They went with a 2-by-2 set of receivers, 2 on each side, 1 running back in to create blocking opportunities for Proudfoot. 3rd down, he's one of his last 6. He needs a big pass here. It doesn't need to be a home run pass, but a completion here to move the sticks one more time to give his team at least 2 more passes after that.
1 timeout remaining for Providence. Here comes the blitz. They'll run away from it. And you may see a timeout right here. The carry to the 24-yard line. And Tribbett with the clock running, 15-14. Scoreboard shows 1 timeout remaining.
So they're going to run it down to 3 seconds and maybe get the last play of the half, apparently.
That's what they're going to do. Did not want to give Sacred Heart Griffin any chance to get their hands on the ball once again. Fun game here in Class 4A. What a wild one. A strange one until IC Catholic Prep pulled away in the 3A game. It's always fun, right? On Fridays and Saturdays down here, you start in bright sunshine in the morning, and then you get to that 4 o'clock game, and the sun sets, it turns dark, and then these 2 teams here, Ken Leonard's been here several times, and you get yourself a night game. First time Tyler Plants, of course, has made it to the title game in his first season. Bigger scores from earlier today. Lena Winslow, comfortable win over Camp Point Central. St. Teresa truly held out 29-22 over Tri-Valley. A couple of passes in the end zone by Tri-Valley were knocked away, giving the victory to the Bulldogs. And then we mentioned IC Catholic goes 48 straight points after Williamsville jumped out to a 10-0 lead. And here in this one, we've had 4 touchdowns here in the second quarter. Big plays from Sacred Heart Griffin tonight. Now they'll look for a big play from their defense.
So Tyler Plants decided to let that clock run down to the last play of the half, keeping that ball away from Sacred Heart Griffin. His decision now, do you throw this ball to the end zone or you throw something underneath and let someone try to make yards after the catch to get into the end zone?
We're going to attempt a field goal. We're going to attempt a 41-yard field goal. Ball's down, the kick is up, and it is just short. Fell underneath the crossbar. So Sacred Heart Griffin will take the 21-14 halftime lead. Providence Catholic in school history, 10 state championships. Sacred Heart Griffin with 5. And what a second half we have coming up. What a first half we've had.
I just say we have a makings of a good one. Providence came back, didn't blink when Sacred Heart Griffin created some separation. Tyler Plant's team answered. And you have 2 heavyweights in 4A football going. Went for the long field goal, which we didn't know that he had that kind of range. Just a bit short. But Tyler Plants knew his kicker was able from that distance.
So the early touchdown from Richard Jackson. Providence matched it. A couple of scores from Sacred Heart Griffin, and Providence, with 2:20 to play, pulled within a touchdown. Let's go down to Casey Stendahar. She's with Ken Leonard.
Back with Coach Leonard. Coach, Jake Hamilton, Richard Jackson, Bill Sanders, all coming up big. How would you assess the offense so far?
Well, we just got to make some of those plays. That's what we expect, to make big plays. We got all seniors, and those kids have been here for 2 years, and they won a basketball state championship. All those guys were on that team, and you know what? We got to come up with the plays. I thought a couple of our guys did, and a couple other guys, we didn't make the big plays, but we'll make them in the second half. We got to.
Establishing some defensive pressure on the Celtics. They were able to get through and score with 2:20 left. How do you limit those opportunities for them in the second half?
Well, we just got to tackle. We got to come up hard on the outside, and we got to just keep doing what we're doing, putting pressure on the quarterback when he's throwing. But they're getting outside on us a little bit, and we can't have that.
Coach, thank you. Good luck. Dave, back to you.
Thank you, Casey. 4 scores in that second quarter, and last couple big plays. Here's Bill Sanders, takes that screen pass, and he'll take it 54 yards for the score. This was a 2-touchdown lead at this stage, but then late, it was Providence with a drive of 45 yards. Caden Nickel goes in. We have a 7-point game at the half.
The IHSA Football State Championships are being brought to you in part by Country Financial, proud partner of the IHSA, and by LiUNA. Start your career in construction at liunacareers.org.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and they care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Would you look at that? I'm in the classroom again. But this time, I can apply these skills to make some money. Lots of money.
Family dinner with kids, not easy. You know what is easy? OSF On-Call Urgent Care. Get treatment for minor illnesses and injuries in person or connect 24/7 online. OSF On-Call Urgent Care.
That score you see right there is pretty much what one would expect whenever Sacred Heart Griffin and Providence Catholic get together. We're at halftime here at Memorial Stadium. Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo. And Mark, I'm thinking of Providence right now. They were 4-4 in the season. They had to win their last game to clinch a spot in the playoffs. They were able to fight through, and it's a similar situation here. They fell behind by 2 touchdowns. They seem to be right back in it.
Yeah, they showed that resiliency, that resolve all year. As you mentioned, had to win that last ball game just to make the playoffs. Now they trailed 21-7, got it back to 21-14, which is manageable. So they've been there, done that as far as having to fight and show grit, and they've done that. They need to do it for 2 more quarters here if they want to chase a state championship.
Let's get a different perspective. Let's go down to the studio. That's where Mark Kruger and Casey Standahar are standing by.
Dave, thank you so very much. She is Casey Standahar. I am Mark Kruger. And Casey, a slow start offensively for both teams to this in this game, but then both teams picked it up.
Yeah, and I don't think I have a different approach really to what Dave and Mark were saying. I talked with running back Mason Santiago for the Celtics, and he said the adversity these seniors have had to go through to get back here has made all the difference. He said it was depressing to finish 3-6 last season. So to get back here and have that mutual respect between him and Coach Plants has been all the difference.
Casey, let's take a look at the first half highlights of this 4A state championship game. With 5:38 remaining in the opening quarter, Richard Jackson from 4 yards out. But first, this is his 84-yard run for Richard Jackson, and that will lead up to his 4-yard touchdown run on this inside handoff. Sacred Heart Griffin strikes first, 6-0. The extra point by Mason Grove made it 7-0. But then, start of the second quarter, Lucas Proudfoot hits Anthony Piccolini for a touchdown. Anthony Pagliaro's extra point is good to make it 7-7. Sacred Heart Griffin, with a minute later in the second, 28-yard touchdown pass to number 4, Jake Hamilton. 37th touchdown pass of the year for Ty Lott. Lott, again, this time, he's going to go for Billy Sanders. And Sanders, the screen, he is off 54 yards for the touchdown, 21-7 Cyclones. Then, Caden Nickel, appropriately wearing number 5, punches it in from 3 yards out. Extra point by Anthony Pagliaro is good to make it 21-14 in favor of the Cyclones. And Casey, what can we expect here in the second half? Good ball game.
It has been, and it's safe to say that Coach Ken Leonard has been here a time or two, right? Things are looking up for them. However, the Providence Catholic Celtics are still in this, and I know they want this one pretty badly. So I'll talk with Coach Tyler Plants and see what adjustments they're going to make in the second half.
All right, Celtics just 3-6 a year ago. We need to take a timeout, and we will be back here to Memorial Stadium. You are watching the IHSA Television Network. Halftime of this Class 4A state championship game, the Cyclones trying to send their Hall of Fame head coach Ken Leonard out to retirement with a state title. They lead it over the Celtics by a score of 21-14. Time now for first half stats, brought to you by LiUNA. Start your career in construction today at liunacareers.org. Take a look at the first half numbers. Boy, look at the total yards. Sacred Heart Griffin, 234 to just 184 Providence Catholic. The Celtics are just down by 7. Rushing yards fairly even. A little bit of an advantage to Sacred Heart Griffin in the passing yards. We need to take a timeout. Back with more from Memorial Stadium. This is the IHSA Television Network.
Want a great career? Join the Carpenters Union and be part of the next generation building our communities. With the Carpenters Union Career Connections program, high school students get a head start on the industry's leading curriculum. Learn the latest in construction technology and the many skilled crafts the Carpenters Union represents. Plus, earn as you learn. Receive a nice paycheck, health insurance benefits, and best of all, no college debt. Ask your school district to participate in the Career Connections program and get started on your future.
This is the great state where you'll find hearts bigger, beating truer, and always wide open. Country miles with never-ending pride. Virtues and values and colors that run deep. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we were born and raised in the land of Lincoln. And like you, we'll always be here, standing for all. Blue Cross and Blue Shield, nationwide strong, Illinois born.
Black Friday is here at Menards, and we've got the perfect present for your loved ones. With something for Dad, Mom, and the kids. Everyone in the family will get what they want, even your furry friends. Enjoy the season and the savings. Deck out the tree and stuff your stockings with these great gifts at amazing prices. Hurry in and save big money. These deals won't last long. Doors open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday.
Save big money at Menards.
How do you predict the future? You create it. You build a foundation, pave a path forward, soak up the journey, and turn experiences into something life-changing. At Illinois State University, we deliver on what every college should promise you: the opportunity and tools to write your legacy every day. The rest is up to you. What will you create? Create your legacy at Illinois State University.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Champaign-Urbana. Halftime of this Class 4A state championship game. Sacred Heart Griffin leading the Providence Catholic Celtics here at halftime by a score of 21-14. Final game of our 4 games of this championship weekend here on Friday. Glad to have you with us here on the IHSA Television Network. And we're going to send it upstairs here to Dave Bernhard and Mark Lindo. And guys, a really exciting first half, and I thought Richard Jackson, the senior running back for Sacred Heart Griffin, boy, he was certainly impressive and came up with some big plays for them offensively.
Yeah, he sure did, Mark. Boy, I thought he gave Sacred Heart Griffin a real spark early in the game. Not that they didn't need anything, but I thought Jackson was outstanding, both offensively and defensively. I think the first play he made came on the defensive side of the ball, but boy, did Richard Jackson produce offensively.
He flat out made plays, over 100 yards in the first half. Exhilarating 84-yard touchdown run he had. Watch him put the brakes on right there, make a cutback against the grain, and then right down the sideline. Now, the only mistake he made, he didn't get in the end zone. But one play later, he would. Just a big-time first half running the football for his team with explosive player. Here's a special one. Watch him get stopped. Boom. But no, he keeps driving those legs. Really a solid first half running the football, and he did it defense too. He'll stick you on the back end.
Richard Jackson, an emotional type leader for this team, and there he is undercutting the ball carrier for Providence Catholic, and you see right there in terms of inspiring his teammates, and what he's done is inspired his teammates to a 21-14 halftime lead. We've got more coming here at the half. We've got a big second half coming up next.
Want a great career? Join the Carpenters Union and be part of the next generation building our communities. With the Carpenters Union Career Connections program, high school students get a head start on the industry's leading curriculum. Learn the latest in construction technology and the many skilled crafts the Carpenters Union represents. Plus, earn as you learn. Receive a nice paycheck, health insurance benefits, and best of all, no college debt. Ask your school district to participate in the Career Connections program and get started on your future.
From the days of the one-room schoolhouse, public schools have always been the heart of our community. It's where our students learn and are inspired to dream big, where we cheer on our teams under Friday night lights, and where parents, teachers, students, and loved ones come together as one. Now, more than ever, our public schools unite us. This message is brought to you by the Illinois Education Association, IEA, because we are stronger united.
For extraordinary moments in life, you should never have to settle for ordinary healthcare coverage. That's why at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we put the extra in our plans. Extra me time to catch up on your faves, with telehealth visits included. Extra peace of mind, knowing a nurse line is here 24/7 for those unexpected moments. Visit us at bcbsilextra.com to enroll. Because extraordinary coverage should come with extraordinary extras.
You see Providence Catholic in the distance making their way onto the field. They trail at 21-14 here as we get set to start the third quarter. Dave Bernhard with you. Mark Lindo is alongside. Casey Standahar down on the field. And Mark, you know, you take a look at Providence Catholic. They're going to get the ball first here in the third quarter, and I think that really plays to what they need to do and what they've shown they can do here in this ball game.
Well, yeah, their first drive's going to be important, and their offensive line's got to take over the game like they did that 80-yard drive. Their offensive line allowed 0 sacks the first half, allowed 0 tackles for loss. They played clean as an offense, 0 penalties, and the offensive line's going to have to pave the way to allow Proudfoot to throw the football and maybe get Mason Santiago and also Jamari Tribbett to get some rushing yards on the ground. And ground and pound the Celtics must do.
We had Tribbett with just 30 yards here tonight on 7 carries. Lucas Proudfoot has completed 5 of 13 for 63 yards, including a touchdown. But the success has come on the long drives. In fact, the most impressive drive of this game for either team was that 80-yard drive for Providence Catholic that eventually led to a touchdown 2 seconds into the second quarter. That tied this ball game at 7.
And, you know, Providence is a ball control team, especially against the Cyclones here tonight. And possession time, 16:47 to 7:13. They need to do that again. But they can't chase too many points. They chase them 1 touchdown now. That's fine. But when you're a ball control team against a fast strike team like Sacred Heart Griffin, you must keep the game within reach, and you want this game to go the fourth quarter, a 1-score game if you're the Celtics.
Well, if you're looking for Providence Catholic and the schedule they have played this year, how about this run they had? From the second through the fourth week, they played in succession here, defending 7A champion Wheaton North, and then the defending 5A champ Fenwick, the defending 4A champ Joliet Catholic Academy. They also played Loyola Academy. We'll see the Ramblers tomorrow in the 8A championship game, played them to a 12-point difference, and then St. Rita, who just came within a few points of Mount Carmel. Celtics fell to them. Well, here's what it looks like Saturday, coming up at 10 o'clock. What an interesting game that 5A championship is going to be. Peoria averaging about 50-some points per game, taking on Nazareth Academy. You don't want to miss East St. Louis. You don't want to miss Tyler Basie from Prairie Ridge. Then at 4 o'clock, the 7A championship, Mount Carmel going to cap off a perfect season, taking on Batavia. And then number 1 versus the 6th seed, but in terms of the AP rankings, number 1 versus number 2, Lincoln Way East and Loyola Academy. I'm telling you, Mark, tomorrow is really a special day when you look at that run of teams.
It's going to be some fun football. You see Batavia, 18 seed. Providence came in a 13 seed. So you know what? You play good competition all year. You have a good football team. You have your eyes on the prize. Doesn't matter your seed when playoff time comes.
So Providence Catholic get hands on the ball first. We take a look at the weather conditions. It's got a little cooler, you know, and I say cooler rather than colder because everything's relative when you come to Thanksgiving weekend. Wind blowing a little bit from the near side of the field to the far side of the field, and maybe favoring teams that are on the right side here from south to north.
Well, evidence of that is you and I both had sport coats on, and now we have on our winter coats. So that's telling you that the temperature's dropping just a little bit, but there'll be some fire down on the both sidelines here as we play the last 2 quarters for a 4A state championship. Providence with first crack at it. We'll see if they can establish that run game, get 4 or 5 yards a crack, move the chains, move the clock, shorten the game, and knock things back up here going into the 3rd quarter and make it a 4-quarter football game.
Last time Providence Catholic played for a state championship game was 2014. They won it all under head coach Mark Coglanese. As far as the Cyclones from Sacred Heart Griffin, finished as runner-up last year. Also in 2016 runner-up, they won the 5A championship in 2014. In fact, went back-to-back in 13 and 14 under head coach Ken Leonard.
Mark Coglanese from Providence. Matt Seffer before him, and that's anybody before Ken Leonard. He's been there forever. What do we figure, 43 years? Or
43 years
43
altogether.
years.
Started his coaching career at El Paso Gridley. He said those are great years to learn at a small school. And then, of course, over at Sacred Heart Griffin, this was a first year that Ken Leonard is not the athletic director. It was football only. And we are ready to start 3rd quarter. Grove, boy, he puts his foot into this one. No question about it. Providence to start from the 20-yard line. That's where the Celtics started after the Sacred Heart Griffin had scored late in the 1st quarter. Providence then marched 80 yards in 11 plays, chewed up 5 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock to tie this game at 7. 2 straight scores from SHG stretched that lead to 21-7. And as you see, we are sitting at that 21-14 lead as we start quarter number 3.
Celtics with 117 rush yards. They're going to need to be at least $125 in the second half. They're going to be victorious.
And they're going to start it on the ground in a short pickup. A gain of about 3 yards on first down. Smizer pulls himself off the pile.
They went into this season, and one of the selling points that Tyler Plants had for them after being 3-6 was the mantra believe. And believe in the system, believe in the program, believe in blocking and tackling. That's what they did his first months. They just block, tackle, align themselves, start from the basics. And right now they have a believability factor there in a 1-score game that they need to believe they're going to score in this first possession.
Tribbett to the outside. Kepler is there, and he's run out of bounds. Well, how about the difference between these two programs? Tyler Plants took over in January, and he quickly instituted a very thorough strength and conditioning program. And that's all they did. And as you said, when they hit the summer, it was all about the fundamentals. On the other side, Ken Leonard's bringing back 13 starters from a state runner-up team. A whole different perspective between these two schools. Here they are right here tonight. 3rd down here for Providence. Just 1 of 7 tonight. They'll need 8 yards for that first down. Proudfoot. And not enough. Hanging on for dear life. Hudson McMahon was there. And that will be short of the first down. Went to Charlie Soltis.
And he broke that route off just a little bit too short. You have to have awareness of where the stick is at. He went into his break about 2 yards short of the stick. And Sacred Heart Griffin gets a stick right away to drive him back and force Providence for what looks to be a 4th down punt.
Well, the Cyclones have not dropped anybody back yet. They don't fully believe this right here. They're going to let the punter, Drew Zamitis, kick this one. Now they'll drop a player back. Rugby style kick. And a good sideways kick. That's a nice punt against a slight wind. It will be SHG that will have it at about the 26-yard line after the 45-yard punt from Drew Zamitis.
So Providence goes 3 and out on a drive. They really needed to at least create field position. Pretty good punt there for 45 yards, but this is a big defensive stand for Providence because we mentioned they can't chase 2-3 touchdowns in this football game with the way they play offense. They're a very solid offense, but not a big strike offense.
Motion to the far side. Maddox Morris steps. Here's Lott. A little delay from the quarterback spot. Ty Lott. We have not seen Lott run much tonight, but yet in previous games we certainly have.
Yeah, that was indeed a designed run. He averages 5.5 yards per carry, 8 touchdowns rushing on the season. Spread things out and go with a quarterback draw on the first play.
Player down for Sacred Heart Griffin. That's John Jones, the right guard, as Ty Lott comes up a little bit gimpy as well. We'll step aside for just a moment. 2 minutes into the third quarter, sitting at that 21-14 SHG lead.
Donate to veterans and their families by rounding up the register or adding $1 to any online order. Casey's, here for good. Power your whole huddle of devices and help keep your home team safe with online security. Unbeatable internet from Xfinity, made to do anything so you can do anything.
We are back with the Illinois High School State Championship, the 4A game. Head coach Ken Leonard is retiring this year. We all know that. And after 46 years, he said it has gone by so fast. He compared it to the country western song, Don't Blink by Kenny Chesney. He said, that's a good way to describe how my tenure as coach has went. It goes by so fast and you blink and now it's almost time to retire. Leonard said, it'll be good to retire and give some of these younger coaches like Tyler Plants a chance to catch up to him. Leonard's looking forward to watching his grandsons play ball on his son's team in Rochester once he retires.
Thank you very much, Casey. I did not recognize Ken Leonard in that first photo, I got to tell you.
A little bit younger, huh?
You could have asked me, who is this? And if I guessed 100 times, I wouldn't have guessed him. Lott fakes the handoff to Sanders. He goes to Hamilton, bounces off one man, and that's enough for a first down, that extra little burst. Moves the chains.
And you go back to Ken Leonard. Of all his years, he is such a fine gentleman, polite to everyone, incredibly media friendly, sharing about his players, about his team, about his program, and always heaping praise to others rather than deflecting from himself.
Fresh set of downs here for the Griffins, or for the Cyclones from Sacred Heart Griffin. Over the middle, wide open, that's Morris. He shakes free from one. He's down to the 36-yard line of Providence. Maddox Morris had a big championship game last year in a losing cause. His brother Caden, who played at SHG, is now tight end at Western Michigan.
Lott just stayed in the pocket, threw an absolute tight ball to Morris right in the middle of 4 defenders, and Maddox Morris just snatched that ball with his hands, gets it 4 or 5 yards after the catch, and they move the sticks with a big pickup.
Lott keeps it. Now, a little bit different wrinkle here that we've seen here in the second half than we did in the first.
Yeah, they faked the jet to Colin Johannes on that. Lott keeps himself. So we talk about halftime adjustments. Looking for the quarterback run a little bit more here in the second half.
3-yard pickup for Lott. As soon as this game's over, he'll probably take a day off tomorrow and then hit the basketball floor along with Hamilton and Singleton. Off the hands of Keyshawn Singleton, and Singleton knows he should have had that one.
Yeah, that's a ball that, catching that ball in stride, he's able to make a big play on it, but he just did not look that ball in. Keyshawn Singleton, their vocal leader. Ken Leonard said he's really a special kid. He's a special athlete. We've seen him on the gridiron, on the hardwood, make some plays.
Keyshawn Singleton, an Air Force commit, so that tells you a little bit about Singleton. So now, on third down, Sacred Heart Griffin needs about 7. They're 2 of 6 on third downs tonight. Plenty of time. Pulls it down, cranks it up, into the end zone, just out of the reach of his man, Maddox Morris.
Well, they went 5 wide, empty set. Trips to the far side of the field, twins to the near. Now watch this hole open up for Ty. He could run right there. He's got his eyes downfield. He had a chance to run for that first down. Then overthrew his receiver because the pocket really opened up right down the middle of the field.
And on 4th and 7, it appears as if SHG is going to go for it. A long look to the sidelines. Play clock down to 10. From the 34-yard line. Need to get to the 27. Lott's going to go for it all. Too much, and the ball will go to Providence Catholic. The Celtics hold.
Celtics defense, kudos. Kept your team right there. The bend but don't break on that particular drive.
8:38 to play in the third. It's still a 1-touchdown game in your Class 4A championship game in Champaign.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Ken Leonard had to defeat his son, Derek Leonard, the head coach at Rochester, in the semifinal. He fell behind, Ken Leonard did, 28-0. And he looked up and he says, oh no, is this how it's going to end? Well, it ended up pretty good in the end. His team scored the last 35 to win it by a couple of touchdowns. Tess will get the ball. Tess tries to get to the outside and wrestled down in a big way by Jake Hamilton. You heard Ken Leonard talk with Casey going into the locker room about how Providence was getting to the outside a bit much. Well, not that time.
Yeah, you hold the edge. You have a chance to turn plays back to the inside. Providence pulls a couple people, but chasing that ball down. Really nice tackle outside by Hamilton, as you mentioned. I like the fact that Providence stayed with the running game there on first down. You got to go with who you are. They are a ground-and-pound team.
We'll go again. This is Caden Nickel. And he's going to be stopped after a short game.
You know, coaches talk about making teams one-dimensional. What I mean by that is when you're a threat to run or pass, obviously it's two-dimensional. When it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, you become a one-dimensional team, and the defense then can really tee off and play pass defense, pin their ears back up front, and play coverage at the back end.
There's that defensive unit. Sacred Heart Griffin. You know, we talk about the offense, but SHG has only given up 12 points per game. And you take a look at the 2 big scoring games have been against Rochester. Beyond that, nothing.
Only going to rush 3.
Proudfoot cranks it up. Line drive off the fingertips on the far side of the field to Alex Gibson.
Yeah, that's a play Gibson's leaving on the field. Normally a very fine receiver from the tight end position. He finds a little separation on an out pattern. That ball's on his hands. We just can't gather in. I think he was very wisely concerned about the boundary right there. High school football, you just need 1 foot down. He knew where he was at on the sideline.
2 possessions for the Celtics here in this half and 2 3-and-outs. This first half, or the second half, very similar to the beginning of the first half of this game. This one a little bit lower angle. Singleton will not get a chance. In fact, it comes back to the 41-yard line. And Sacred Heart Griffin, excellent field position with 7:05 to play in the first half after just a 23-yard punt.
So SHG with that field position you mentioned, and will they take a shot on first down after that play on special teams that gives them that field position? Went to Ty Lott a little bit more in the run game, quarterback run game last possession. See if they found something they want to exploit in the front four of Providence.
The handoff. That was a hard-earned run by the man we featured at halftime, Richard Jackson.
You know, you become a fine running back by going 84, 85, 86 yards. You also are a fine running back when you take a gain of 1 or 2 and turn it into 4 or 5 positive yards by using great balance, body control, and vision, bumping that to the outside.
Get it out to the outside, and that will set up about a third down and maybe about 3 yards to go as Jackson will get that call.
Really good coaching move there with that pitch to the outside, trying to get Jackson going downhill. Offensive coordinator John Allison will be the head coach next year, right? Taking over, longtime assistant of Ken Leonard, John Allison.
Another key third down here, midway through the third quarter of a 7-point game. Lott gets rid of it quickly to Hamilton. That should be enough. He has the first down yardage to the 48-yard line of Providence.
So that's good awareness by Hamilton. Knows where the first down marker is at. Comes back to the football, secures the catch with his hands. Watch him turn and come back to the football right there. Takes a good hit, solid defense, but Hamilton wins the battle because he knew where that first down marker was at.
Hamilton headed to play basketball at Quincy University next year. Lott looking for Morris. He has him inside the 15-yard line. Well, you talk about laying the ball right on the money. 10th completion from Lott makes it a first down from the 13.
Cade Bowdick on the coverage, but just taking that ball right out of the air with a solid catch right there after the separation. 35 yards on that catch. Really solid by Maddox Morris.
Jackson nowhere to go. He looked up and all he saw were white jerseys, including number 48, Jay Jazorski. And that play went about 4 yards in the backside.
Jazorski, a nice linebacker for the Celtics. They have a really nice crew of linebackers, and Jazorski and Jones and Santiago, they really patrol from sideline to sideline. They're their second level for the Celtics.
To the end zone, wide open, touchdown! Maddox Morris from Lott. 18-yard touchdown pass from Lott. His third of the night, and the lead grows to 27-14.
So efficient with his passing game. Lott gets another one into the end zone. 6 the last 2 games, 3 more tonight. Eyes on the prize. Maddox Morris just runs by the corner, finds himself open, creating separation of about 4 to 6 yards, and dances in to the end zone.
Grove 4 of 4 on extra points, and back to a 2-touchdown difference.
Watch Maddox Morris create that separation with his speed. And he knew all he had to do was gather that ball and gather in another touchdown strike. Maddox Morris is a good one. 10 TDs on the season coming in. Make it 11.
So after a short punt, Sacred Heart Griffin strikes quickly. Morris a couple of key catches, including that touchdown catch on that drive. And I'll repeat, this is very, very similar to the way we started this game, in that neither team really could make any progress offensively in the first 3 possessions. Then all of a sudden SHG put a score on the board. In the first half, they do it here to open the scoring in half number 2.
Sacred Heart Griffin, 216 passing yards, 117 rushing. So not great balance, but when you put that many area yards up on the board, you know that you're exploding with your plays and your long touchdown plays that they've had tonight.
Providence giving up 28 points here tonight with still about a quarter and a half to play. The last team to put up that many, that came October 7th when Loyola Academy defeated the Celtics 34-22. Loyola will be playing for the Class 8A championship tomorrow night at this time. Grove, who's made a habit of hitting the orange here at Memorial Stadium in the end zone, will do it again. Boy, what a weapon that is in high school football.
Yeah, Ken Leonard told us on the phone this week he's basically an unsung hero, and for a kicker, he's a verbal leader as well. Usually kickers are the quiet guys or the quirky guys, but he's one that really gets their team going, and team rallies around him when he kicks. Oh, so dangerous, and always getting the ball into the end zone, which creates long fields for opponents.
Big possession here for Providence. Down by 2 scores. They've had 2 3-and-outs here in this third quarter. They'll try the middle, and that's not going to work. Boy, things have toughened up. Once again, number 53, B.J. Olson. Sacred Heart Griffin drove it 60 yards in just 6 plays. It took less than 2 minutes off the clock, and it was culminated in a 13-yard touchdown pass from Lott to Morris.
Lucas Proudfoot right now, he's going to look at a 4-3 front with 2 safeties for Sacred Heart Griffin, and then covered corners each on either side of the field.
On 2nd and 10. Need a big play here. And felt the pressure. 1, 2, 3 different Cyclones bearing down on Proudfoot. The underappreciated SHG defense,
yes,
starting to make something happen here.
Yeah, when your offense puts up 53 points a game, they get all the credit. They get the ink, they get the pub, but your defense only gives up 10 a game.
The flag was thrown. Looks like it may have been an ineligible receiver downfield. Let's see what Ken Leonard and Sacred Heart Griffin would like to do with this call.
You know, it's amazing, both these teams. SHG gives up, scores 53 a game, gives up just 12. And Providence about the same.
On the offense, number 54. That penalty is declined. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, there's your answer. They will say, let's just play 3rd down and 10. We'll decline the penalty. We'll keep an eye on number 54. You saw him just towards the bottom of your screen. That was the center, Sean D. Third down and 10. A little bit of a delay for Proudfoot. Who does he run into? Number 24, Richard Jackson.
Big time play at the point of attack. Jackson makes a big play, and right there to help him celebrate was Jay Kepler. But look at the emotion he's wearing on his sleeve. One-on-one, I gotcha.
Ken Leonard says, yep, that's what we needed right there. 3 straight 3-and-outs forced by this Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones defense.
And once again, it should be, barring any kind of mistake, good field position for the Cyclones once again. Throwback.
Looking for a fake. Zamitis will fire it, and did he come up with it? No, he did not. It was Alex Gibson on the receiving pass, or receiving attempt, and now a flag goes down right in front of the Providence bench.
Tyler Plant's not agreeing with that call. He thought it was a clean catch.
Officials discussing as we take a look at it. And hard to tell right there. The coverage on the play was
different
from Andrew
angles.
McDowell. The official that made the call was looking at it as well. You see right there at about the 28-yard line. Then
On Providence, that penalty will be assessed half the distance to the goal. It'll be first down, Sacred Heart.
how about that? After the change of possession, the unsportsmanlike call against Providence Catholic puts the ball deep into Providence territory for Sacred Heart Griffin.
Tyler Plant's wearing "Believe" on his shirt. He can't believe that this call was not a catch. And we've seen multiple replays, and I still can't discern. To be perfectly honest with you, real time, it's called incomplete.
One more look. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you, the person who had the best call was the line judge looking straight at it. So here it is. The Cyclones looking to take advantage of the missed opportunity plus penalty. Lott, little hesitation. He's able to turn the corner. Lott to the outside. Ty Lott gets it. Ty Lott is down at the 1-yard line.
Designed quarterback run. And if we watch this again, watch the athletic ability of Ty Lott here of 13 yards. Watch him shake and bake and make a miss. Look at that cut right there. What an athletic run that was by the 6'2 quarterback, Ty Lott.
Corey West has come into the game to be a lead blocker here with the ball inside the 1-yard line. Sanders easily in for the score. 1-yard touchdown run. Taking advantage of a turnover on downs plus a penalty. And just like that, the lead is 20.
Just a big gaping seam on the right side. And taking advantage of that was Bill Sanders. Much easier than he probably anticipated. We took the handoff. Heavy package for Sacred Heart Gritton. They put the big fellas in, and they got the surge at the line.
Grove again. 35-14 as Sacred Heart Griffin scores 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes and 12 seconds to make this a 3-touchdown game.
Little power football. Look at all the big gold helmets lined up. Push, push, push. Really nice block on the inside, kicking out the end. It was by Hudson McMahon. That was the finishing block. Everyone did their job. So did that young man right there.
So we talk about 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes, but how about the defense for SHG here in the first 9 minutes of this quarter?
Yeah, they've been outstanding. They've made plays. They get 3 consecutive 3-and-outs. Providence first drive of the half. Providence tried to establish the run game, but Sacred Heart Griffin shut it down and has done so consistently throughout this third quarter. Just a big-time third quarter for Ken Leonard's Cyclones team.
Well, to the tune of 114 yards of offense and just 17 for Providence.
Total domination it has been in quarter number 3. And a tough bit of catch-up with 15 minutes and 2 seconds left to play in this football game. Celtics certainly have the ability to do that. They've had comebacks throughout the year. They played close ball games throughout the year. They played great competition throughout the year. They are going to need an explosive play of their own here in the last 15 minutes get back in this game. They're going to need Sacred Heart to shoot themselves in the foot with some kind of turnover as well.
Grove again, and once again, Providence to start from its own 20-yard line. Well, you saw Sacred Heart Griffin come in here tonight playing with a purpose, a dual purpose, if you will. One, to come back after last year coming up short in the championship game, and number two, no secret about it, playing for Ken Leonard to put the winningest coach in Illinois high school football history out on a winning note as he retires following this game.
Yeah, there's a love affair among those players and their coaching staff. And again, it starts from the top with Ken Leonard and the quiet but excitable leader that he is. And he makes it all about his players, never about himself. Cyclone's going to rush this 3 here.
Inside handoff goes to Tribbett. He takes a big hit. There was an opening there for Jamari Tribbett. It was closed in a hurry.
Tribbett just 5'7", but 195, so he's a strong young man. Watch him plant his foot, come back against the grain, and then just a drive-through tackle, one-on-one.
Javion Bardwell with that hit. Pick up a 5, though, on first down. And here the Sacred Heart Griffin fans, they've gotten louder as this game has gone on, especially here in the third quarter. Looking to pass. Coverage. Intercepted at the 45-yard line. Coming the other way along the sideline. That is Javion Bardwell. And here come the flags.
Javion Bardwell makes an easy pick. Takes it down about 20 yards after the INT, and then a late hit on the Celtics.
So a couple of key penalties, and that time was Jamari Tribbett on Javion Bardwell. And that sets up SHG in very positive territory. So Bardwell, number 10 right there. He had that hit just moments ago.
Yeah.
And then he has the pick.
Solid defense. He will not get an easier interception than that one, though. He was playing back deep in his zone coverage, looking at the football, and it basically came right in his hands. But I tell you what, nice return after the interception, and then tack on the late hit. That'll be the second consecutive series that Providence had a 15-yard penalty to move Sacred Heart Griffin deeper into the red zone.
Being assisted off the field for Providence right now is Dan Metzger. Metzger will leave. The ball sits in the 9-yard line. That's where Sacred Heart Griffin has it. Remember, this is an SHG team that scored 35 straight points against Rochester in the semifinals.
That's 56 points the last 3 quarters of that game. They were shut out in the first quarter.
I'm not sure the personnel is exactly right for Sacred Heart Griffin. In fact, it was not. They'll need to take a timeout here.
So 81 points for Sacred Heart Griffin the last 5 quarters. 81 points.
That can't be right, Mr. Lindo.
I think it is. You talk about a blitzkrieg offense, they've got it. And they've shown it throughout the year. And again, innovative as Ken Leonard was with the spread offense years ago. Many people followed his spread offense, quarterback run offense.
We're coming up on about 10 o'clock or so here tonight. We started at 10 a.m. in the morning. Lena Winslow, 38 winners over Camp Point Central. And then to this point, the game of the day, St. Teresa 29-22 win over Tri-Valley. Tri-Valley had 2 passes into the end zone in the final seconds that came up short. Williamsville fell to IC Catholic as the Knights grabbed their 6th state championship, and now Sacred Heart Griffin looking for its 6th state title with a big lead over Providence Catholic and looking for more. And here we go from the 9-yard line. Lott facing pressure, tries to run away from it, and he'll throw it away. And there's a flag, a grounding call in all likelihood.
Providence brought pressure. Rush for Don Lemon and brought all the linebackers on a full-out blitz, flushing Tyler out of the pocket.
We have intentional grounding on the offense. Number 16. It's a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's also a loss of down. It'll be 2nd down.
To Mannix Morris's credit, he was in the end zone, but when he saw that Lott was throwing it away, you watch Morris with the pink gloves. He came running hard after that ball, trying to be a receiver in the vicinity.
Trying to get in the picture.
Yeah. This takes it all the way back to the 25-yard line, where it's 2nd and goal from there. And movement, and that will result in another 5 yards. John Jones appeared as if he was a man that may have jumped offside. Check that, Connor Rockford. Connor Rockford, the left tackle. Well, we are now at 2nd and goal from the 30.
So your Providence right now, I think you play your defensive secondary back 10, 15 yards, but the decision you make, you're going to try to, again, get Lott out of the pocket, maybe force him to throw off his back foot and get an interception. You need to create a turnover if you're the Celtics defense right now, rushing 4.
Looking for Hamilton. Could not reel it in on his fingertips for a moment, and then slips right out. 3rd down and goal from the 30.
Lott puts this ball right on Hamilton's hands, but Hamilton under duress just can't pull it down. Give pretty good coverage, solid coverage on the deep post pattern right there to Luke Leverett at only 5'8". Definite height advantage that time for Hamilton at 6'4", but just couldn't finish the deal.
Providence will drop a few extra men. Ball just lands right there on the turf. And it's Kyle that just says, okay, I'll pick it up. Send it back long. Haven't heard a whole lot from him. He's 219 yards in receiving this year. And now Mason Grove will come on, and he will attempt a 47-yard field goal. Grove this season's long has been 37. He's 2 for 2. Grove puts his foot into it, carries, and how about that? 47-yard field goal from Mason Grove.
There's that leg, the extra dimension, if you will. I tell you what, that would have been good from 57. That was not even close as far as distance. He just cleared it big time. An extra weapon he has been tonight. He gets all of it.
You could hear the sound of his foot meeting that ball. Grove, smooth delivery between the pipes. 38-14.
I think he's a little bit excited, huh?
I'm going to guess this one's going to end up in the end zone.
Too. I'll bet you. He has been a little bit of a difference maker in this football game from the kicking position.
Well, there you said earlier, you usually see a quiet kicker.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's talking it up right down there.
Yeah, usually kickers walk by themselves. They stay in the background. That young man is right in the middle of everything, leading his team on the field.
17-point third quarter for Sacred Heart Griffin.
He will make a good collegiate kicker if he wants to be.
Celtics drop back just a little bit deeper. And once again, a touchback.
Touchback, touchback, touchback. Long field, long field, long field for Providence Gervais. And to attack right now, they want the ball at the hash mark to start this drive.
Now, may not be a team that's built for big plays, but Providence Catholic needs one right here.
They need a couple of them. They need at least one on offense. They need at least one on defense to take away to the house. They're going to get back in this football game.
Providence looking for its first down here in the third period, a period that's been dominated by the Cyclones from Sacred Heart Griffin.
3 consecutive 3-and-outs by the Cyclones.
Proudfoot, plenty of time. Now being chased. Only a yard gain. Richard Jackson was in on the play. There he is, right in front of you. He was joined by Hudson McMahon, number 33.
2 gold hats to the football for a negligible gain. Plenty of time. He's looking, going through his progression. He's looking just one way. Then he tucks it. And look at the speed, Richard Jackson. That's the key right there. Is Richard Jackson just runs him down.
Nice catch on the far side by Gibson. That's enough for a first down.
Really solid hands after a really solid route. After an outstanding pass, hitting it right out of his break. Look at him go up and get that ball at its highest point.
Jake Hamilton, the body slam tackle. Giving a little ground, and that'll be another first down as Gibson again gets the call.
Gibson make that call, and he puts a hit on Connor Johannes. Johannes goes 175. Gibson goes 188, but boom, he says, I'm not going to let you tackle me. I'm going to try to run right over you. And they get back-to-back first downs.
Third catch of the night for Alex Gibson, junior. He'll be back next year. It's a young Providence team. About half the starters are underclassmen. Senior quarterback, it's Proudfoot. We'll give it to Tess. Tess grabbed by Kepler, and Jake Kepler will put an end to that run from Tess. Second down and 11 as we wind down the third quarter. Providence has to hurry things up just a bit.
128 yards rushing for Providence. We felt they needed about 200 to win this football game. They're not there yet.
Just a little bit behind the intended receiver. And that's Tess once again. We'll get one more play here in the third quarter.
This is a dominating third quarter for Sacred Heart Griffin. They're trying to turn to their fans, get them on their feet on this third down play. I think the defense wants a little bit of kudos in its own right, don't they?
Yep. Providence Catholic just 1 of 10 on third downs tonight. They're looking at a third down and 11. And it will be 1 for 11 as that third quarter comes to an end. What a third quarter for Sacred Heart Griffin, the undefeated Cyclones, with 17 points in the period, and they have opened it up 38-14 at the end of 3 in your 4A state championship game. Start of the fourth quarter. Dave Bernhardt, Mark Lindo, Casey Standahar. 38-14. Sacred Heart Griffin on top of Providence. And it's time now for Menards Plays of the Game. Save big money on all your home improvement needs.
Well, speed in the open field. There's one of your big plays. You could put that one down. No doubt about it. Richard Jackson run the football. Takes that one for about 85 yards and finish it one play later. Then a long pass. What a great over-the-shoulder catch that was by Jack Western on that one. A catch and throw with Lott. And then Maddox Morris with a nice one as well. Explosive plays is where the recipe for Ken Rillard has won his whole career and is doing so tonight. But defensively, only 45 yards gained for Providence in quarter number 3.
It's time the Celtics will kick it away. Nobody deep for Sacred Heart Griffin, and it's going to work very well for Providence. SHG will start the fourth quarter, their first possession of the period, way back at the 11-yard line. (13-0) on the season for Sacred Heart Griffin. 9 running clock games this year. You know, they gave up an average of 12 points per game, and that's after 27 against Rochester in the first game, and then 42 against Rochester in this semifinal game. The rest of that, not much. And speaking of not much, that's the situation right here. Negative yardage for SHG. Number 48 in on the stop for Providence, Jay Jazorski. That takes it back to about the 6.
I'd like to see Providence right there. They got about 3 or 4 guys off the football. Watch the ball on defense, get off the break, and they did a really nice job filling gaps, not allowing any seam at all by the Sacred Heart Griffin offensive line on that particular play.
Trying to stretch it out. Evading one tackle, now another. Left sideline, the flag is down as Bill Sanders is running away from the pack. One man to beat. Sanders will go down, ripped down by Jaden Mikulski, but this one may be coming back. A flag down at the 6-yard line.
Normally where a holding penalty is at, Sanders made the turn. This one is Deed coming back. Fun play to watch.
Ooh, an incidental face mask on the defense. And right there it was. Watch Sanders, just a little hesitation to avoid that tackle. And then it's off to the races. Great job by Mikulski actually to get the angle on him right here and knock him out of bounds. An 80-yard run by Sanders.
So that one does stay on the field, and another explosive play for Sacred Heart Griffin. Richard Jackson's had a big one, so Sanders said, my turn right here to run the sideline. It's a sprint-a-thon for the running backs of SHG.
The first and goal from the 10.
Yeah, flag came back at the 6-yard line, but it was basically incidental. That's why the play stood. With the stiff arm.
And the clock may have run out there. Actually, no, it did not, but a flag was thrown by the back judge. Okay.
5-yard penalty. Replay, first down. The game clock.
Movement on the offensive line, backs it up to the 15. Last couple of times, Sacred Heart Griffin has been in this position. They've been going backwards on first down and goals. Now it's first and goal from the 15. Stay on the ground. Zigzag up the middle and in. Touchdown, Bill Sanders. It's a Delta Dental fourth quarter touchdown. You can trust the tooth to protect your smile. Learn more at deltadental.com.
And there's a smile right there by Sanders. He heard your dental read because he's got a smiling set of teeth right now after that touchdown run. Almost untouched. Set up with a big 80-yarder, then finishes the deal himself. Rushing game. starting to account for some big-time yardage for Sacred Heart Griffin.
And for the first time tonight, Mason Grove unable to punch that through, partially blocked, but it's a big lead, a 30-point lead for Sacred Heart Griffin thanks to this 15-yard touchdown run from Bill Sanders. He had an 80-yard run to get him there. He closed it out with 15.
There are more than 20,000 ways to experience Illinois State.
Hey, what's up? You ready to go to class?
What kind of Redbird will you be? Create your legacy at Illinois State University.
Black Friday is here at Menards, and we've got the perfect present for your loved ones. With something for Dad, Mom, and the kids. Everyone in the family will get what they want, even your furry friends. Enjoy the season and the savings. Deck out the tree and stuff your stockings with these great gifts at amazing prices. Hurry in and save big money. These deals won't last long. Doors open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday.
Save big money at Menards.
This game somewhat mirroring the 3A game. It was close into the second quarter. In fact, it was a 7-7 game just as the second quarter got underway, but a big third quarter now add in a fourth. A 30-point game with a little over 10 minutes to play. 10 minutes to play in that man's career. His head coaching career, that is.
He said he'll be around but not interfere next year. I bet you he sees a few Rochester Rocket games as well. He'll become a Rochester Rocket Derek Leonard fan, his son who's done such an incredible job there.
You know, and that will be fun.
Yes.
Right? If you allow yourself to have fun, that will be fun.
He'll be more nervous watching his son coach than he was coaching the state championship game himself.
Here's Grove. Doesn't matter which way he kicks, it goes into the end zone. Let's go down to the field with Casey Standahar. She's there with Angie Leonard.
Thank you so much. I am down here with Coach Leonard's wife, Angie Leonard. Angie, thank you for joining us. What a game this has been so far.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited. This is just going to be the icing on the cake for his incredible career. I'm so proud of him. He is such a great man, and he loves every bit of this.
I have to imagine after 46 years, this is a bit bittersweet. Is it bittersweet?
It is, but you know what? He's ready. He is ready. He has taken this week, and he's just embraced the last of everything. When they had their last practice yesterday, he just stayed down on the field and just kind of took it all in and enjoyed it. So
you know him as, we know him as coach, but you know him as a father, a husband, a grandfather. Who is he when the whistle comes off?
He is a man of God. He puts God first, and he is not embarrassed to say that. That's who he is, and that's what he wants to be known for. The coaching is all great, but he wants to be known that he loves Jesus.
Angie, thank you so much, and congratulations on this game so far.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Dave, Mark, back to you.
Thank you very much, Casey. And I got a kick out of the jacket that Angie Leonard was wearing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times when I say your first name, it said Mrs. Leonard.
Mrs. Leonard. Some pictures of maybe a day or two younger. I don't know. Great shot there. And, you know, going back to Casey's interview with Ashley Leonard, remember Ken Leonard told us football is what we do. It's not who we are. And that's a great statement by a great man.
Proudfoot able to avoid some pressure. Going against his body, finds his man. That's Gibson. Great throw from Lucas Proudfoot.
Proudfoot showing some really good arm strength on this, rolling away from his strong arm and able to square his shoulders. Watch him. He's a right-hander. He's going left. And watch him square the shoulders right there. Plant his foot. Really a solid throw under duress.
15-yard pickup on the completion. He was looking for Soltis.
Proudfoot 9 out of 23, 107 yards and a touchdown tonight. 1 interception.
This was a 21-14 lead for Sacred Heart Griffin at the half, but then a huge third quarter for SHG where they dominated defensively as much as the 17 points they put on the board offensively. Tess looking to turn the corner. Is able to stretch it out, not get to those chains. He'll get to the 45-yard line as Hamilton is able to drive him out of bounds.
Tess just continued to string it out. He just could not plant and go north and south. Give kudos to the Sacred Heart defense for that. You mentioned Proudfoot's last pass. Proudfoot has done a really good job all year long managing this football team. Very mistake-free for the most part. Keeps his team positioned to win for 4 quarters. And he said we're a 4-quarter football team. We never quit. We're in the game down the stretch. We feel real good about our chances.
And a straight drop. He tells his man, go deep, go deep, go deep. He has him, and it's caught by Soltis. Charlie Soltis inside the 5-yard line. He kept waving Soltis to keep going, and he found him.
Boy, we saw his arm strength throwing against his body, rolling left, and that one, he just aired it out. There's that little signal. He said, go. I got you. And he certainly did, for the tune of 52 yards on that long strike for the Celtics.
First and goal from the 4. Proudfoot wants to keep it. Powers his way forward. And he'll be faced now at the 2nd and 1.
Yeah, we talked about Proudfoot during this drive, about playing 4 quarters, playing hard, and he's made back-to-back good plays. 1, the big-time pass, and then 2, his relentless turning of his legs to get that ball right up to the goal line. He's still playing with a lot of giddy-up in his step.
Privet. He's turned back. Third down and goal. Ball at the 1-yard line.
Providence impacted tight.
Proudfoot drives forward. And that's enough. Touchdown. Providence Catholic at a 1-yard sneak from Lucas Proudfoot. It's a Delta Dental 4th quarter touchdown. You can trust the tooth to protect your smile. Learn more at deltadentalil.com.
Really solid drive by the Celtics, and Proudfoot was definitely the emotional leader of that drive. A long pass play, a nice run, and then finishes with low pad level quarterback sneak right over the end zone as the Celtics continue to play hard with 7:23 to go and a tough deficit still to climb.
9 plays, 80 yards. And that kick's blocked. 44-20. 7:23 to play here in your 4A championship game.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and they care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
The IHSA Football State Championships are being brought to you in part by Country Financial, proud partner of the IHSA, and by LiUNA. Start your career in construction at liunacareers.org.
It's Tyler Plants. We were talking about his quarterback, Lucas Proudfoot. I like the comment that Tyler made to Proudfoot as he came in. He wanted to give Proudfoot an attitude, in terms of what he wants his quarterbacks. Now, Plants was a linebacker, okay? So understand that. He was a linebacker. He went up to Proudfoot and he says, I hate quarterbacks. I hate quarterbacks who slide. So he has been very proud of how physical Lucas Proudfoot has been.
Yeah, and then Proudfoot last year, or early in the season, put a hit on a DB, and Tyler Plant said, be careful when he's out there. So Providence has scored over 20 points. Only the third time all year team's been over 20 against Sacred Heart Griffin. It was Rochester 2 different times.
Onside kick attempt was actually very well executed, except the Cyclones were there for the recovery. Took that one high hop. Jack Western pulls it down. He's had 2 great grabs tonight. One as a receiver, and right there, one on the onside kick.
Yeah, that's saved possession. 7:21 to go. This fast blitzkrieg offense for Sacred Heart Griffin. We'll see if they start to use some play clock between plays.
Watt gets rid of it in a hurry. There will be a loss of yardage. And right now, Providence Catholic's hope has to come on the defensive side. They need a turnover here, but that's going to be tough with Ty Lott, who's only thrown 3 interceptions this season. Providence will take a timeout here with 7:01 to play. That'll be their first timeout here of this half. And I'm going to let you know, we've got some playmakers on this field. Bill Sanders has been one of them. We featured Richard Jackson earlier, but how about Bill Sanders? The night he has had our Country Financial Player of the Game. Find out why over 1 million families will just protect their lives and livelihoods. Visit countryfinancial.com for more info.
But he catches that ball. What a game he played. Catches that ball right in the middle of the field and just goes right up the gut for a touchdown, and then does the same thing on a running play. And this one, he gets to use his stiff arm, gets to the outside, and just puts it into overdrive. Look at that bounce he shows on the sideline to stay in bounds. 80 yards on that particular run. And the inside handoff, and goes in almost untouched from 15 yards out to catapult his team to 44 points on the board.
And so many of these names for Sacred Heart Griffin that we are mentioning tonight, 365 days ago, they were the same names. And they've come back here looking to avenge that loss to Joliet Catholic last year and looking to put the stamp on Ken Leonard's career. The winningest coach all time in Illinois high school football history, 418 wins. And just a little over 7 minutes to go before number 419.
Every coach that coaches a state final in any sport at any level will tell you, you never know if it'll be your last one. I mean, it's not a given. It doesn't matter what kind of program you have. It takes an awful lot of talent, an awful lot of good coaching, an awful lot of work, an awful lot of luck, all those things put together.
No hesitation from Lott, and he'll get it back to what was the original line of scrimmage on this drive. I think Providence Catholic will want to take another timeout. They do. They take their second of 3. I want to go back to what Angie Leonard told Casey about how yesterday was the last practice. And you've been there.
Yep.
The last practice is as emotional sometimes as the last game, right? Because it's the practice where you're probably closest to your players during practices.
Well, there's no doubt. Practice is a special time because practice is such a time of teaching. And it's a time where you can stop. You can't really stop a game, but you can stop practice. Teachable moments, whether they be X and O teachable moments or whether they be, lifetime teaching moments. That's the joy of coaching that you've been able to experience, that I've been able to experience when you have that relationship with players. And when you build a relationship and you build trust, that's when you know that you've captured your team.
Tyler Plants in his first year as a head coach, 9 victories, and on the other side, fell in the white cap with 418.
And I always tell people, you know, they say to me, what makes a good coach? And I think what makes a good coach is when you see players looking at the coach when he's talking. That's a respect factor. And see all those eyes right there on that legend, Ken Leonard.
Well, it's going to take, I don't know if we're going to see too many more coaching win records broken. I mean, in this one, you're talking about a 40-some year career, averaging almost 10 wins per season, longevity plus success. It's hard to do nowadays.
Much more demanding than it was when Ken Leonard would have started things. Ken Leonard coached against Tyler Plants, but Tyler Plants was a player. Think about that.
Jackson looking to get to the outside, nothing doing. He's run out of bounds. Well, for Leonard, he's coached many of his players' dads.
Yes.
He's coached almost all of his coaches. He didn't tell us whether there's any grandsons that he has coached, grandsons of former players. It could happen.
418 career wins. That graphic says it all.
You only get to play 9. You're only guaranteed 9 games a season in Illinois football. And you average almost 10 wins. Grove high pop-up for a catch at the 38-yard line. So Providence has a timeout left. 6:41 to play here in this one. That's how much time we have left here on a Friday, but Saturday, get yourself a little sleep, get yourself up at 10 o'clock, and you've got Nazareth Academy with Peoria. Peoria can roll up the points. Nazareth Academy has really grown as the season's gone on. Then a fun game in 6A. It'll be Prairie Ridge taking on East St. Louis, Mount Carmel, Batavia. Folks looking forward to that one. And then the big one, Lincoln Way East and Loyola Academy. What a day tomorrow.
East St. Louis, Prairie Ridge. There'll be a few points on the board there.
There should be. Tess undercut nicely there. He had some room to run. However, he was cut down there by DeAndre Stewart. And
Tess a little bit dinged after that. Made a really nice catch at the boundary and took a hit afterwards. Came down favoring his right knee.
He is not feeling too well right now. Take a look at it. Yeah, Stewart just kind of slid down, and that's where he got him.
Yeah, everything really clean there.
Yep.
Just right at the knees where I don't think he landed funny. Ran a really nice route on that out route. And Proudfoot hit him right in the hands again. Proudfoot's played last drive and then the first play of this drive. He's been in pretty good rhythm.
He throws pretty good fastball. The time he was looking for Anthony Piccolini. Piccolini had a touchdown grab. In fact, that came 2 seconds into the second quarter, and that tied the game at 7.
Corey Russ right in the middle of your screen. Their leading tackler by far. 177 on the year. All-state player. Runs 4.4 from the linebacker position. That's pretty doggone good.
Has a possibility to be a state championship wrestler as well. Tribbett. Grabbed and driven down by McMahon.
Providence go with a little misdirection. Trying to catch the eyes of the defense wandering, but everybody Providence, Celtics stay right at home.
Proudfoot season opening. He lets it fly. Nearly a catch, a tough one indeed it would have been. Looking for a little bit of interference was Jimmy Peterson.
Proudfoot extends the play with his legs. Goes through his checks down, finds Peterson, scores it up at the last second. Peterson just a little bit of an inadvertent contact with Hamilton. Takes a hit and goes to the turf. Tried to catch that ball sitting on his back end. Just didn't happen.
4th down and 9. The defense for Sacred Heart Griffin urging its fans to get to their feet. Right over the middle, a completion to Soltis. Soltis down near the 30. Charlie Soltis has been a factor tonight for Providence.
Makes the catch, and he tells his team, spin it up. Let's get into our 2-minute offense. Hurry up. 20 yards on that catch right over the middle.
Proudfoot got caught up in traffic, and he'll go down. Lost for about a yard, maybe 2. SHG defense playing so well all night long. That's the first sack, however.
And that was just a bull rush sack. No twists, no turns, no coming from the edge. Just a great push on the offensive line. Only rushing 3, and they got the sack.
Look out from the backside. Down goes Proudfoot. You saw it coming all the way. Reggie Thomas. Oh, he was zeroing in. Number 9 zeroed in on number 2.
From the blind side, Proudfoot looking downfield, but didn't feel that presence. Now that's a speed edge rush right there, and just relentless pursuit of the football. The quarterback on that play, speed from the backside, creates a big loss.
3rd and very long. Another shot coming up. Proudfoot goes down. Boy, they are really coming after Lucas Proudfoot right now.
Play and pass, pin your ears back when you're a defensive lineman. And just tee off. You don't have to read many keys now, just trying to get in the backfield. Really good job defensively, putting pressure on.
Couple of sacks for Thomas, 11 tackles for West here tonight. Well, you just run down the list here. Mike Jackson with 9 tackles, McMahon with 9. The defense so quick, so active, yet Providence still scored 20. 4th down, need something big. They're going big. And this one is incomplete, and the ball will go back to the Cyclones.
Colin Johannes on the coverage there. Providence continued to play hard, just a little bit too late. But I've really been impressed with Proudfoot, though, the last couple drives, just willing his team to stay in this football game.
The inside coverage nicely done by Johannes. Intended receiver was Hagan. Gavin Hagan's made his mark in the defensive side. Just a sophomore. 5 interceptions on the season.
SHG should probably keep this ball on the ground.
Keep it in the hands of their quarterback.
So play clock at 33 with proper clock management. Lott should snap this football with 3 seconds or less on the play clock from here on to the end of this football game.
Clock winding down, 8-7. Lott looking right at it. The senior quarterback will snap it with 3 seconds. And negative yardage once again. Providence defense not going away.
Tyler Plants calls his third
Providence.
and final.
It's their third and final timeout of the second half.
I just said that. Well, it was all about the third quarter, wasn't it? They just exploded in the third quarter, did Sacred Heart Griffin. The defense created, what, 3 consecutive 3-and-outs, and the offense parlayed them into points and created the separation you see on the scoreboard. You put a lot of hats to the football, good things happen. Right there, nice pass deflection, negating a long play. Then run defense. Check it out. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Take your pick. Quarterback draw. Proudfoot nowhere to go. Individual tackle in space. Backside, there's that bull rush we saw just a few seconds ago. It was from the backside. Reggie Thomas made a play. Richard Jackson before that. And the gold helmets have been all around the football tonight.
You know, and here's a defensive unit. They watch the offense score 50-some points per ball game, and whether they say it out loud or not, they say, "Well, hey, how about us?" And they've flashed it here tonight. "37 solo tackles out of the 69 for SHG. You saw the speed, you've seen the size. Third down and long here offensively for the Cyclones. Looking to bounce to the outside. And just not enough. A big hit though late. And SHG wants to be a penalty flag, not to be had, as Mason Santiago put the leather on Richard Jackson.
And Richard Jackson picks up 9, but he would have liked to have stayed in bounds there.
Fourth down and about 7 or 8 yards, and it will be punting time here for SHG. Actually, that's Bill Sanders that took that hit, not Jackson. Sanders still down. Grove gets it away. Bolts. Nice move. Picks up about 5 yards after that catch.
Providence came with an all-out plump block. They brought 10 people.
Penalty flag thrown all the way across the field. Let's see where this one comes from.
Pulse returned that kick with no block, that punt with no blocking in front of him.
Sanders on the bench. Like he may have gotten the wind knocked out of him. A little bit of wincing involved as well.
8 carries, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 12.5 a carry. Jackson averages 14 a carry.
Replay, 4th down.
5-yard penalty will go against SHG, and Providence says kick it again. Well, let's see if we can make something happen out of that. So Mitchell Volts will go back once again to return this punt.
Talk about big plays. Cyclones are averaging almost 8.5 yards per play on the evening. It's almost a first down every play if you think of it that way.
They've had a couple of 80-yarder plays. Here comes all 10. Grove in big trouble. Straight up in the air pretty much, and the fair catch will be called. I don't know how Grove found an opening to even get his foot underneath it without hitting anybody. That's a nice job to keep it in front of him.
Absolutely. Just his presence of mind to stay with the play. Knock down the snap that was errant, and then get the ball off at all without being blocked.
Put that mouthpiece in and go to work here with 3:28 left. Right over the middle. Once again, his favorite receiver tonight, Charlie Soltis.
Yeah, they have really good chemistry between one another right now. Soltis really finds the middle of the field to his liking. And just another seed by Proudfoot showing off that hose.
And that completion goes to Mr. Soltis again for 6 catches for Soltis tonight. 136 yards. He had that big one earlier here in the second half.
Goes 6'3". He's a really fine route runner with good hands. Tall target. He can high point the ball when need to. He can go over the middle. They put him in a slot at times. That's where he's at now, at the top of your screen. Now they're moving people around.
Under pressure, Proudfoot delivers. Jackson was on the chase for Proudfoot. Third down and 5. Clock's frozen at 3:06 in a 24-point game.
Proudfoot has been flushed out. He's shown the ability to roll to his left and throw the football. He's shown the ability to roll to his right and throw the football. He's been a pocket presence passer at times as well. Probably throwing more than they would have wanted to tonight. 14 out of 33. They did not want to throw 33 passes tonight, playing in catch-up mode here in the fourth quarter.
That one is batted down right in the face of Proudfoot. It was Jake Kepler. You know, what have we had? About 4 or 5 different Sacred Heart Griffin players that have put pressure on Proudfoot, meaning they're coming from all different directions. There's Mick Kepler at 6'3". He goes a little higher than that to knock that one down.
Just like your coach, honestly, you come off the edge, get that big hands up, you either knock a pass down or change the trajectory of the quarterback's throw. Either one, they're both good things.
4th down. And the ball will go to SHG.
Providence is out of timeouts. So the clock right now is the best friend of a would-be state champion.
What are you looking at? Ken Leonard watching, and he says, yep, it's our ball. We're going that way.
Going that way. As he's about ready to walk off the field for the last time in his career. And that man walks off the field. Lucas Proudfoot, who just played hard all night long. Took a lot of hits, but really led his team.
This will be the tightest formation you'll ever see Sacred Heart Griffin run. But they will run out of it. Jackson got the handoff. It's just a matter of running plays right now. This clock will be about at 2 minutes on the next snap. Well, do you dump water on a 43-year head coach? I don't know that you do.
I bet you they do.
I'm looking. I don't see anything.
And you can't make him run after the game, or he's retired. So no disciplinary action.
Once again, that play clock winding all the way down. Jackson bottled up as the Celtics continue to be aggressive defensively. We have about 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 players on the ball. Under 2 minutes now in this one.
You see Ken Leonard and you just wonder, honestly, like what's going through his mind. Is a championship going through his mind? Mm-hmm. His retirement goes through his mind? Yes and yes. Is his family going through his mind, his career?
You know what made this hard is because from the moment that Sacred Heart Griffin walked off the field last year with all those underclassmen, they were favorites to win this championship. And everyone knew it was Ken Leonard's final year. So you talk about, some unspoken pressure. That was, I think, in everybody's minds, whether it be players or coaches, that we're the favorites. We should be the one that puts him out in style. And they are 1 minute away from doing just that.
In celebration mode.
4th down, they'll run a play here. We said yardage not the highest priority right here. You see handshakes there along the line of scrimmage. And they'll take a timeout or delay of game. They'll take a timeout here with 41 seconds left.
A bit of celebration timeout. Time to come to the sideline, greet their teammates.
You know, I always find it interesting, and maybe it was extended a little bit here just now as you look here in the near sideline, but the linemen in the last play for each of the teams just shaking each other's hands, patting each other on the back. You pound on these guys all night long, and there's the respect.
There's the respect. Especially the guys in the trenches, right? On both sides of the ball. They know what it's like to put it on the line, and only time to get your name called if there's a holding penalty. That's it. Trying to give them some love on some great blocks. There's a little bit of love right there, shared by the Cyclones.
So Ken Leonard walking away from that huddle. Maybe the last time he walks away from a huddle in his football coaching career. The most wins ever by an Illinois high school football coach, retiring in 41 seconds. His career will come to an end. You know, how special is that when you think about that? You have, you know, great coaches, Hall of Fame coaches that retire, but when you have the coach who's won more games than anybody else in the state in high school football is able to retire by winning a championship. It's remarkable. Grove gets it away. Volts will retreat, makes the catch. He has some room to the sideline. Volts tries to put on the Jets and just steps out of bounds near midfield. He wants to take it to the house anyway.
In Providence, coming off a 3-6 year. Culture's changed back to a winning attitude after one tough one last year they went through. And that makes the offseason that much easier to sell to those young men as well throughout the program.
And you see the media beginning to descend on that guy right there.
You mean they might want to interview him after the game? Get his thoughts. He's incredibly friendly to the media and really does a great job selling his athletes and promoting his athletes and the good things that they do on and off the field.
I got you.
And that should do it. And you see all the Cyclones clustered about their head coach, and there it is. You're right, they had it. And Ken Leonard will head to midfield. His 419th victory. No other high school coach in Illinois has had that much. His career comes to an end with the state championship in Class 4A football.
Providence Catholic 20.
A perfect 14-0 as a first-year coach shakes hands with the all-time winningest coach in Illinois.
Including IHSA state championship.
There's some sharing going on right there. I believe there is.
Or TV via the app.
What a performance it was all year long by Sacred Heart Griffin.
You love reliving great moments in IHSA history.
Final score 44-20. Sacred Heart Griffin.
Visit YouTube.com.
Sixth state championship in school history. In 3A, we had IC Catholic Prep winning its sixth state championship in school history.
Championship game.
Neil been with me forever.
Some tears of joy and respect and championships and goodbyes all at once. Those hugs are real.
You know, it's interesting. I think there are more tears from the people coming up to hug Ken Leonard.
Yeah.
They know the impact that he's had, not only at Sacred Heart Griffin, but through the entire state. Clinics that he has put on, the willingness to share everything that he has developed with fellow coaches.
And if he had the time, he could probably give away thousands of hugs tonight. Not hundreds, but thousands of hugs. Everybody would want a piece of that gentleman, and that's what he is, a classy gentleman. Sam Knox from the IHSA getting a hug.
He did great. Played 4 weeks of perfect football. Good job.
And right now, to me, I would think this is all a blur.
Yes.
Hey, take a knee real
How about
quick.
this? The final conversation you have with the team kneeling in front of you.
Hey, smells good tonight.
As far as how much older he is, than those players he's talking to, because they're all as one right now as he leads the cheers.
Ready to order them, baby.
Because it's this team that won the state championship. Yes.
Don't close them out. Bring me. Here we go, baby.
Let's listen in.
Hey.
Last prayer, boys.
Hey, you guys, we're going to get some of you guys for the press conference, too. Remember, Jesus.
Dear Lord, we just thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity that you gave us. Lord, we thank you for letting us put our bodies on the line to get this win. Lord, we ask that you bless over Coach Winter and all he's done for this program. Lord, I ask that you keep this tradition going for this program. We just thank you for everything that you've done, for letting us get this victory, and we do it all in your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and give us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Amen!
Last call, Joe!
Oh, let me bring the victory!
State championship for Sacred Heart Griffin. 44-20 over Providence Catholic. Time to get wet late. And that's exactly what happened to Ken Leonard. SHG, your 4A state champs.
The IHSA Football State Championships are being brought to you in part by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs. And by ISU. Create your legacy at Illinois State University.
Black Friday is here at Menards, and we've got the perfect present for your loved ones. With something for Dad, Mom, and the kids. Everyone in the family will get what they want, even your furry friends. Enjoy the season and the savings. Deck out the tree and stuff your stockings with these great gifts at amazing prices. Hurry in and save big money. These deals won't last long. Doors open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday.
Save big money at Menards.
How do you predict the future? You create it. You build a foundation, pave a path forward, soak up the journey, and turn experiences into something life-changing. At Illinois State University, we deliver on what every college should promise you: the opportunity and tools to write your legacy every day. The rest is up to you. What will you create? Create your legacy at Illinois State University.
Want a great career? Join the Carpenters Union and be part of the next generation building our communities. With the Carpenters Union Career Connections program, high school students get a head start on the industry's leading curriculum. Learn the latest in construction technology and the many skilled crafts the Carpenters Union represents. Plus, earn as you learn. Receive a nice paycheck, health insurance benefits, and best of all, no college debt. Ask your school district to participate in the Career Connections program and get started on your future.
From the days of the one-room schoolhouse, public schools have always been the heart of our community. It's where our students learn and are inspired to dream big, where we cheer on our teams under Friday night lights, and where parents, teachers, students, and loved ones come together as one. Now, more than ever, our public schools unite us. This message is brought to you by the Illinois Education Association, IEA, because we are stronger, united.
A convincing state championship win for Sacred Heart Griffin, 44-20 over Providence Catholic. Let's go down to Casey Standahar, standing by with Bill Sanders.
I am back with our player of the game, running back Bill Sanders. Bill, 3 touchdowns, 1 receiving, 2 rushing. What adjustments were made at halftime to pull this one out?
We just played with our heart. You know, I told the fellas before we got on the field
to leave no regrets and play with your hearts, and that's what we did.
What a big game for you, doing this one for Coach Leonard. For some teams, the moment ends up being too big. For you, it wasn't. What does that say about your team's mental toughness?
You know, we always put God first. You know, our goal is to be state champions, but our purpose is to be Christ-like, and that's what I feel like we proved tonight.
4A champs, what does this mean to you and your teammates?
It's a monumental moment. I'm holding back tears right now. I can't believe it. From the defeat, from DeKalb, from all the way to here, you know, it's a blessing.
Bill, enjoy this one. Go rest up. Enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are joined now by the coach of the hour. Coach, the winningest coach in IHS history, adds one more title to the record books. Where does this moment rank for you?
Well, it ranks right up there, but it's only because of Jesus Christ, and that's my Savior and my loved ones, and they're up there because they knew Him. So I give all praise to the Lord Jesus.
When you think about your long and successful career, what do you hope your players remember and have learned from you over the years?
I just hope that I was tough, kind of old school, but I loved them all, and that's the reason I did it. I want them to become great men, great husbands, and great citizens, and I think, they have, and I'm so proud of them.
You go out 4A champs. Your wife, Angie, talked to us earlier. She said football is what he does. What will you do now?
Well, I still got football because there's a lot of Leonards playing football, so some are coaching. So, but I won't be on the staff or anything, but we're gonna take off. We're gonna do things, and I'm gonna get to go places I've never went before, and I'm gonna just enjoy life and watch my grandsons, and just love life.
Coach, it was an honor to be one of your final interviewees. Thank you. Congratulations. Enjoy this one. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dave, Mark, back up to you.
Thank you very much, KC. And Ken Leonard, happy for himself, yes, but he's happy for those Cyclones right there. They are the Class 4A state champions. Let's go to Jeff Fritzen, our public address announcer, for our
Class
awards.
4A state champions, the Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones. Individual awards will be presented. First to Superintendent, Sister Catherine O'Connor. Principal Kara Rappett. Athletic Director Bob Brennison. Head Coach Ken Leonard. And the Cyclones captains. And now we'll present the championship trophy to the Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones, who finished the season with a final record of 14 wins and no losses. Congratulations to the Cyclones.
When the team goes 14-0 in Illinois, it means you have won a state championship, and that's exactly what happened here tonight with Sacred Heart Griffin, a final of 44-20. And Mark, they came in as a favorite. They were the favorite I mentioned earlier, the favorite the moment they walked off this field. Actually, in DeKalb last year, they were the favorites, and they managed to just drive their way all the way through in dominating fashion this season.
Well, they had an outstanding season. When you are unblemished on the year, they got the job done. They finished it tonight with a resounding 44 points on the board, below their average. How about that? They averaged 53. But Jackson over 100 yards, Sanders over 100 yards, Lott throws for 3 touchdowns. The defense was dominating. Just an all-around championship performance. A well-prepared team it was tonight for Providence. A great comeback season. A trip to the finals they had. after having to beat St. Lawrence in week number 9. So they prolonged their season, get into the playoffs, make a nice playoff run, and get here. And they just ran into a championship team of Sacred Heart Griffin tonight, as you see the smiles on their faces.
That championship trophy, the final trophy that was presented today, earlier on, it was Lena Winslow that picked up the Class 1A championship. St. Teresa did the same in 2A. IC Catholic Prep, their 6th championship in 6 attempts as they won Class 3A, and then here in 4A, Sacred Heart Griffin wins it all, the 6th state title in their history. Now coming up tomorrow at 10 a.m., we'll get things started with Nazareth Academy going against Peoria. We'll have 5A, 6A, 7A, and 8A. It's all going to happen right here from Champaign and the University of Illinois, the IHSA Television Network, the IHSA Football Championships.